to jump, since I'm mid-falling, jump off the horse onto the carpet, but using physics, since I'm jumping and using force to jump off the horse, it would now accelerate the horse towards the mirror and maybe cause a crack or shatter?
Roll an acrobatics check to make the jump.
Oh fuck. I'm in danger.
Can I make a dexterity check to catch her, please?
Use your reaction and make a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw. Sorry, mate. It's fake.
They're assassins. They're basically ninjas, you know? Dexterity is what they're good at. That said, they don't have evasion. They all take the damage in the face. They're all significantly weakened. And you blow a hole in the side of the tent, and Untermaler is going to roll a dexterity saving throw.
Oh shit.
Oops. He's
oh, these
fine.
damn kids and their fireballs.
He's fine.
Back in my day, you did 5 minutes of trigonometry to make sure no one was in the blast radius.
Well, you guys didn't teach me that. I was born this way, so.
Ariana, Garnet said, like, high five again. Slay, queen.
Yeah, slay. Actually, slay them.
All right. So he's just standing there minding his own goddamn business when a giant fireball goes off and singes him for 21 points of damage.
The last thing that guy said before I ate him was James. I swear to God, I don't know what's going on.
Ooh.
Thank you, Lux Lately. Wonderful. Oh, fuck me running.
Okay, so Leg Day impersonates the boyfriend. Is that why they broke up?
Oh my god.
I'm thinking this is afterwards. Oh my
God.
Oh, I'm just putting it on the table. You don't have to go with it. I'm just putting it on the table.
I don't know if that would end up in being friends as much as being
That's gonna derail the crap out of this game.
But is it though? Well, you know,
we're gonna turn absolute power into a dating sim.
You turn into a girl and bait him into doing something. So we end up bonding.
Oh, a loyalty test.
You loyalty test the ex-boyfriend.
Wait, what if I like? You know how they do this on TikTok?
Yeah, they set it up, and you guys are like in on it. And,
oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Let's say Mia Hethil, because he's right in the middle of 3-player characters. So, you know, him in particular.
I take it the burning didn't kill her.
Yeah, roll 1d10, but it's fire resistant, so.
Bonk.
Where is Mr. Reaction with a ward guy?
He used it. That shit's gone.
Oh, gone for
Bonk.
forever?
Well, until his next long range. A long rest.
La la la. La la la.
Don't need no wards. We're dealing with these fucking idiots.
That should be one of your sub sounds on your channel.
Should be. Really should be.
Well, so much for my terrifying monster. Guess I'll just, you know, die.
Pulls pin, throws pin.
Let's say Mia Hethil, because he's right in the middle of 3-player characters. So, you know, him in particular.
I take it the burning didn't kill her.
Yeah, roll 1d10, but it's fire resistant, so.
Bonk.
Where is Mr. Reaction with a ward guy?
He used it. That shit's gone.
Oh, gone for
Bonk.
forever?
Well, until his next long range. A long rest.
La 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 la. La la la.
Don't need no wards. We're dealing with these fucking idiots.
That should be one of your sub sounds on your channel.
Should be. Really should be.
Well, so much for my terrifying monster. Guess I'll just, you know, die.
Pulls pin, throws pin.
Pop! This boggle explodes into sludge.
What did the ugly sticky babies do?
Ugly sticky
Who
baby!
started this?
Attack Paramir! Attack us! I destroy ugly baby.
started it, Paramir or the ugly sticky babies?
Hard to tell. All pop out of bush.
They're
To be
just
certain.
popping out of a bush.
They live in bush. They
Wait,
pop
do
out
you
of bush.
Kill everything that pops out of a bush?
If it stinks as bad as this ugly baby, yeah.
Oh, well, I've known a lot of stinky people who are actually very nice. You can't judge a baby by his stink.
Lash looks at you, kind of confused, but also kind of in awe. If Ezek can look past stench of ugly baby, Lash can look past stench of ugly baby.
Oh, we're gonna grind your bones to dust and then we'll lick it with our tongue. And every time we put you in the oven, we're gonna make it grow and get so yummy. It's gonna be good. We're gonna be tasty, just like we should. You're gonna die.
All right, so your armor's broken, you're exerted, you're in the middle of a pile of enemies. It is now your side's turn. How would everybody like to act? Mr. Sir Thomas automatically moves over to zone 8.
I need to keep taming, or I'm
I'd like
gonna
to
die.
use my turn to give an encourage advantage to Lemon with some inspiring bardic words.
All right, I don't think that is how this works, but it's a time-honored
Bardic
tradition, so
inspiration.
yes, bardic
What else
inspiration.
can a fucking bard do?
Always bardic inspiration. It's always valid.
Tamer, you've got this. These wolves you'll dismiss. With treats and some kibble, you'll leave them remiss.
What?
You're gonna do great!
That I would be among a band of misfits. Unfortunately, I missed that train, but I'm here now. On an adventure. My abilities include licking my butt and stretching. That's all.
You will come in most handy.
I don't need hands to do that.
You want some Zaza?
What's a Zaza?
Alex melts away and vanishes, replaced by Cyrus.
In handcuffs?
Yes. Yes.
He.
Except that his eyes are wrong. They are filled with piercing blue light.
Oh damn, this room is about to get good.
Got blue eyes too.
Yeah, that fire, we dodged it. Ariana didn't. But that's why we all woke up. So.
Dragon's fire.
Dragon. Okay, you talked to the dragon?
Oh yeah, that guy sucked. He just kept wanting us to say his name and open the big bad door and he's gonna destroy the world and kill anyone we ever want. But I won't. I can kill anybody I want. I don't know what some statue's gonna do, but and he doesn't even know his own name. Boomer much? But anyway, so like But you've slain dragons before. If you can do it, then
These are the dragons of the world before.
Make a DC 21 dex save.
Cool.
Ooh,
Roll 12d10.
Yo.
Sheesh. Ah, cool.
Yeah, that's me after eating a mild curry.
I know, it's coming out of his butt.
That's true. Wait. Flip it around. Flip me around.
Flip me around.
There we go.
Flip, there we go.
67 points of damage.
All right.
You have carte blanche aside from that.
Cool. So thinking kind of like, because it's pocket dimension and shape shifting, but maybe it's kind of like a Venom-esque arrangement where it's a dimensional parasite that so like when he absorbs things into his hand, maybe it's like a fucking oh no, I've done it again. Maybe it's a teethy hand that like a toothy hole.
Could you please just once not consort with otherworldly powers from beyond the scope of human imagination? Just once, leg day.
I refuse. There's too much empty headspace here with my lack of a brain to not have another.
Welcome once more to the Four Kingdoms of Anakra. I'm Tormented by Gnomes. I'll be your game master today. Joining us, we've got Leg Day, Lemon Kiwi, and the Darkness of the Void. Darkness of the Void, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Sorry, no cam today because I'm kind of sick. So I'm blind my nose for like fucking 5 minutes or whatever. But besides that, doing okay. Actually, I got my eyebrow pierced recently, but you can't see.
And we don't get to see it yet.
Yeah, it's actually it's fucked up. Unless I can turn my camera on for like 2 seconds and show it, I guess I could do that. And then turn it back
Dramatic
off.
reveal next episode.
next week.
Keep him coming back.
Do you post pictures on one of your socials? Do you want to like plug that?
Oh shit! What the fuck is this? No, I don't. No. Yeah, my camera is fucking weird. No, I don't post on socials because I'm in my fuck social media arc. So
Good. That's honestly an excellent arc.
I'll just show it next week.
Yeah. So come back for episode 159. Be there or be square. Legs, every time that you talk about your Marvel Rivals rank, I'm like, you're not a celestial, you're an elf, right? Like you've got a celestial vibe going, but like, dude, every time.
We're getting closer. Soon I'll be an eternal elf, which I guess is just elf de rigueur. It's the general elf vibe, you know? Just exist forever and then judge other species for trying to go quickly with their limited time.
I wonder if there's a chart somewhere that shows like all the different fictional media that has elves and how many of them, like, are the elves assholes or not assholes in this?
Sorting of the asshole elves. Still don't know which side Athel's on yet.
He's not an asshole. Fourth year, different story.
Yeah, fourth year was a different guy.
I mean, 14-year-olds are terrible people, so I can understand that. Lemon, how are things? How are you?
Speaking of terrible 14-year-olds, I promise. Yeah, I got tired of voiding all of Crone's characters, so I just decided to void Crone. So.
Just cut to the chase.
Get them all out the way with just me. Yeah,
we have to go right to the source. Yeah.
Oh, things are good.
Excellent. I heard a request for a recap. So last time on Book of Dawn, Ioth Academy, an army of rebels from the Copper Dragon tribe of Bothotlo were marching on their own people in protest of the Dragon tribe's alliance with Ioth Academy and with Garnet's homeland of Brontha. Our heroes, including Sventisco, a friend of the party who has been with them since year 1, who has been blessed by the dragon god Bothotlo himself. The whole expedition went to try to persuade the rebels to stop their march, stop their attack. And Sventisco succeeded by defeating the Copper Dragon leading that army in a battle of insults, which is actually a traditional thing in the Bothotlo tribe. There's formal rules for it and everything. However, shortly afterwards, as they were dealing with the aftermath of their victory and the enemy army dispersed, having watched their leader get completely destroyed in front of them, assassins, creatures, monsters, mechanical monstrosities attacked in an attempt to assassinate Inril Untermaler, the general and acting archmage of Ioth Academy. Our heroes dispatched them swiftly and retrieved the leftovers, the carcasses, the hulks that were left behind for further analysis back at the school. I think that was just about everything that happened last time, aside from a ton of tech issues.
What did we retrieve?
That weird kidnapping beam on that big metallic spider.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah. Garnet doesn't necessarily...
for peaceful purposes.
Is there any worry about bringing? Because we know that Anachronus is machines. He can live through any machine. But is there a way to dismantle these so they aren't technically machines and they're metal?
You didn't bring back the whole pieces. You didn't bring back the entire. I'll say bodies for the time being. You Leg Day specifically specified that he removed the beam from the retriever.
Oh, okay.
So the threat of it animating should be very, very low.
Okay, cool.
But it's never zero. Back at the academy, our heroes have had a chance to rest, to recover from the battle, all the spells that they used, any hit point losses that they sustained. You can all go ahead and have a long rest.
Woohoo!
Yay.
Damn it.
You're all fired.
That's not yippee.
The very next day or two, Uncha Mahler has to leave, along with the majority of the armed forces of the Academy, the heavily armored wardens and the war mages with their deadly cantrips, in order to leap to the defense of the Dune Riders, who are under attack from another Ravener horde, the Wind Scour horde, that descended from the mountains and the hills to the northeast, where the screaming wind has carved eerie shapes into the very rock itself. This is not a battle that he will be bringing the lot of you along with, because he wields the full power of Ioth Academy's realm magic. And he and the rest of the military leaders are confident that they're going to be able to drop in unexpectedly by teleporting on top of them and just blast them into nothingness. This gives our heroes a few days to spend some time on their research with their loved ones, whatever it is that they want to do. So, as usual, before I give you the results of that battle or move along through the timeline of things that are going to happen, is there anything specific that you want to do?
I might check in on the Master of Necromancy, see how he's doing with the Libris Mortis.
Mm-hmm. I can set that up. Give me a sec. What about the rest of you? Anything else?
Yeah, I think Mantra would try to excuse me, look into Conscare and try to figure out like who Conscare is, where Conscare comes from.
So, the Master of Divination, who I gave a really long name, Nellorin, Master Nellorin, not Eldrasar, is going to invoke realm magic to help uncover more information about that. While she's doing that, is there any specific type of research that you want to do on your own?
Well, she's using realm magic for that. I guess we were already kind of planning or starting on doing research before on the whole mirror plane thing. So either be like continuing with that or just kind of waiting for Nellorin to say what's up.
We know that Ioth has some notes on that mirror he was making for Oakai or whatever the guy's name was. So that might be good reading.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do that too.
Oh, do I have an appropriate voice for this?
Behold the world of yesterday!
An act of God!
Oh, that was old school.
Right? That's a throwback. The first output of the mighty ritual that Nellorin and all of the diviners of the Tower of Divination invoke, calling upon the wells of magic that swell beneath this very school, is as follows. Far from the tree fell the fruit, yet the roots remain.
What was that? Was far from the tree fell the roots, yet what remains?
Far from the tree fell the fruit, yet the roots remain.
Oh.
Because it's realm magic, they're going to get more useful information than that, but that's the first thing that comes out of that.
Okay, sounds good.
Feel free to cook on that. Ask any questions if you have them. Where did I stick the Master of Necromancy? He's in one of these.
One of the rooms.
He's in a small room.
Well, while I am looking for him, Garnet, is there anything specific that you want to do?
No, I'll probably still research the wall, the void box on top of the thing, if I still need to research that.
Yeah, I mean, you've only worked on it for a few days. You are a hyper genius, but these things still take a lot of work and time. So you can just throw some hours at that.
Okay, yeah.
All right, let's grab Inkashush. I'll throw him in this office for the time being. And we'll grab Athalor. And we'll refresh because I'm getting some artifacting.
Oh boy.
When you go to the Tower of Necromancy and to Inkush's immaculately clean, orderly, bare-seeming office, he is sitting there just going over the pages of the Libris Mortis.
Master Inkashush, how has the book been?
I forget, did you suss out the author for this?
I think it may have been collaborative between Ioth and Tarselmore. And
that's
other
Rex.
collaborators from the early post-dawn.
I guess Tarselmore probably would have worked in Elvish, even if it wasn't his mother tongue.
I guess a lot of early Arcana probably went that way, unless it was primordial.
Draconic, if you're with Charir or one of those, but yes, there is a wealth of knowledge in here. Accounts of creatures that I've never seen, I haven't even heard of them. I doubt my predecessor had either. Nefirio. But, and spells and just a plethora of things.
But anything useful to our particular ends?
I believe so. It's going to require some modification. Because this book was not specifically written on the reconstitution of souls. But I think that the precepts of necromantic weaving, of soul weaving that are in here can be applied. Especially if we do the mixing it with dawn magic thing.
That's great news. Is Master Tumula read in on all of that? I guess he's busy right now. What would the time frame look like?
I mean, this sort of thing ought to put in years on it, months at the very least, but your friend said she had a shortcut.
Yes. Garnet's probably a little bit more familiar with said shortcuts than I am. I'll go find her, and we'll see if you two can figure that one out.
He should not have had disadvantage on that, and he rolled a natural 20. So I think that he detected more than a little bit of apprehension regarding this particular method. Something that, due to his previous eagerness for an easy solution, he hadn't even considered. He watches
you
you
a lot
with
of Athalor's apprehension about taking shortcuts or something so meticulous.
All right, off you go. Mason, have you had any time to percolate on that information, or are you just ready to get the rest of it?
It probably implies that Konskir is very close to where it originates from. Which, remind me, at the top of it is orcs themselves, right? Or was it something else? Or was it
Imago?
Oh, it was Imago.
Imago.
Okay. Okay, so Konskir is very close to Imago. Okay, unlucky.
See, actually, the legend of your people says that when Arakura died, and the Infernals and their servants rose up to sweep across the world, they burst forth, the servants of Anachronis, the Eschaton clock, burst forth from the volcanoes at the heart of the jungles and forests south of Arix. Your people used to live there before they became part of the Gold Dragon tribe. They migrated north and were assimilated into that culture. So Nellorin believes that this means that Kanskar is still somewhere in that ancestral homeland.
Oh, okay. The homeland that was to the south?
The land's now ruled by the designer city of Cambernex.
A designer city in a jungle biome. My.
Of Camberlex?
Cambernex. I'll go ahead and spell that out for you.
Okay. Yeah, Mantra would When he had the chance, tell the party about these findings and discoveries.
You would arrive to find Athalor having just come from Inkashush's office and Garnet poring over mathematical equations about usage of power and separating different types of energy and a lot of inverted equations compared to what you would normally use doing the math on her void sphere. So the two of you arrive wherever Garnet is studying. Where are you studying, Garnet?
I don't know. Library.
Library. The two of you arrive outside of the book fort that the members of the student organization known as Fuckum have built in the side. The two of you roll up at the exact same time from opposite directions to find her there. Go ahead.
Oh, well, that's convenient timing. How did your meeting with Inkashush go?
He definitely seems to think that there's some potential in the Libris Mortis when it comes to reconstituting her. I was going to grab Garnet and head back up to the tower to maybe look into the accelerated thinking space that Garnet found previously, although I have my doubts as to its safety or escapability.
Fair. Mind if I join you and update you on my end of things while we walk up there?
Absolutely. Are you the end of days? I was going to say Garnet.
No, hopefully not. Oh, Garnet. Hi, Garnet.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, how's research? You doing numerology homework or end of the world
Great.
stuff?
I think I learned something new, and I put my hand on Athlor's shoulder, and I cast the new spell that I got.
Whoa.
There. And you feel kind of like this thin layer of void surround you, but not in a protective way, as your AC would be increased by 1.
There's a numbness or a dulling of the senses around your body. Not so much around your face and your eyes, but the air around you. It doesn't feel cold. It doesn't feel hot. It doesn't feel like anything at all.
Is there any like physical or like noticeable component to it?
Yeah, there's like a dark veil of sorts.
Oh
shit! I was always jealous of how badass that mask looked. Do I look similar?
We'll work on it. We'll workshop it.
Yeah.
But
We can work on the aesthetics.
yeah, I'm just happy
would this
that...
would this react at all to the amount of void corruption that I've inadvertently gained from exposure to some of Garnet's shenanigans?
How much do you have?
I believe just like 2 points.
No.
I think I got that when we were with Neve with the golden hair.
Oh.
And we blasted that guy.
I'm just really happy that I'm able to use void magic to protect people and like so people can stop hating on it. But
Is this your basis for the protection dome?
I think I'm gonna use something stronger than that and just like punches him in the shoulder. See, it still hurts, just maybe less.
Okay, yeah, a barrier that won't break to the punching of a teenage girl is probably very much on the cards, but I like it. Good idea. I was hoping that I could steal your brain for a little bit to go and talk to Inkashush about a shortcut that you suggested, even though I don't think it's a particularly amazing idea for someone who's not as, let's say, persuasive as you.
Well, I mean, he's much older and much smarter than you, and he seems to think it's fine, right? Well, I guess you technically know more about what's going on, but
Yeah, I think I might know more about this particular situation than he did. How did you escape the book again?
Well, the first time.
And also, come to think of it, to do this, would you not have to put the book on his face and make him say, "I'm alone"?
Oh.
Are you chill with that?
That would be a lot.
I think it's a fun experiment. I mean, I wouldn't do it unless I was sure it would work. And like, when I got out of the book, it was you and Ariana, and Mason, you were there. Yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
actually, but you guys all called out to me, and it takes some effort, but you got to get yourself out.
Okay.
And he's much stronger than me, and maybe even a stronger of will.
I know you had calling out to you, but I also feel like we had a fair amount of personal connection to you. Between myself, Mantra, and Ariana. I don't know if
Should we bring his wife, or like if he's got a kid or something, or
maybe. I don't think he's got a particularly deep emotional connection to any of the three of us, or anything really. Seems like a bit of a loner.
Well, now that we are more prepared, I mean, we can maybe think of a tether or something to help.
Do you think that would work that way? Making a tether?
Not really not like the biggest of priorities for me right now, but
True. If it's not the biggest priority, we could just call him off and just have him do it normally.
well, he seems really eager to find the shortcut. Maybe he'll look into it.
I mean, I guess if you want to get another guy interested in void magic here, why not make it the master of necromancy who's dark and goth anyway?
Well, the one who looks like you guys looked at his room. He looks kind of suspicious with the runes and the possible transformation thing going on.
I mean, that's probably why. It's just the transformation thing, right? It's not like
So
inherently bad.
Yeah, so if we had to, possibly lose a creepy werewolf, I mean,
Are
very
you saying that he's
replaceable.
the most replaceable of the elder faculty?
Yeah. I mean, he didn't even know the Book of Death or whatever. Surely.
True.
More candidates.
I mean, I assume not many people would know about it then if it was something that just Ioth and
Yeah, but
others worked on.
what the result of this could be. Can you imagine if we could do years and years of work in the matter of seconds? How technologically advanced Ioth Academy could become if this worked?
Yeah, the upsides are very alluring, appealing.
You raise a good point.
And if he volunteers, then that's his responsibility. It's his consequences to bear, in my opinion. I will explain what happened in detail if he wants to know. Didn't have too many questions last time. I guess we left early, but I can go explain it to him.
Okay, also, Ethel's gonna try and grab your book and come on, reading this way. Let's go tell him.
Well, I guess on the way there.
XP.
Oh, XP.
Yeah, go ahead.
XP.
Yeah.
XP.
On the way there, Mantra informed them of the con scare might be in the designer city of Combernex, and the whole far from the tree fell the fruit, yet the roots remain thing.
Wow, what? A spawn of a mirror keeper living in a designer city?
Well, that's where they originated from, and Conscare was originated there along with them, or soon after, or something. There's history that just ties, my ancestors back to that place, so.
I mean, that makes sense. It's going to make things a little bit more complicated. We're not exactly friendly, but I'm sure we can figure out a way to. Maybe we'll use the shadow paths again without Lurkele.
Maybe they don't even know he is a spawn of the Mirror Keeper, and he could just be working there, incognito.
Perhaps.
Not wrong.
Have to do some investigating, scrying, something of the sort, perhaps. To figure out more.
Conscare must be, what, 1,000 years old? More?
Older, maybe. Would I have any
At
frame
least
reference?
over 400 years old.
Oh, okay.
So if they were there, they would have presumably a position of power after so long.
Yeah, I
If
hope
they're
so.
outwardly facing with what they're doing and being there, perhaps. Probably.
Maybe they're just like a hermit who lives on the land.
Yeah, I have no idea. We'll figure out more soon.
The three of you are on the outside. The three of you are on the outside of Inkishish's door. If there's anything else you wish to say out of earshot, please proceed. Otherwise, you may enter, and you'll find him still poring over the Libris Mortis.
Hi, I brought Garnet to talk to you about the accelerated thinking solution.
I like that word. I like that.
ATS.
What exactly are the principles at play?
It kind of sets her book on his table and is looking at it, looking up at him, and looking down at the book. And
This isn't the
well-
book of Seosh, right? This is some other book.
Oh no, the Seosh book.
Okay, so there's nothing. There's nothing on
Yeah,
the.
there's nothing there. And I'm just looking down at. Oh, there's a book here.
Weird mime.
Weird book here. Great book. Actually, it's the best of books. But it's you would be in this book. And time passes a bit differently here. I was there once and fine. What questions do you have? I don't know where to start.
Is it safe?
Like, what are your concerns around safety?
Could it cause bodily or spiritual harm?
Well, the spiritual harm is what comes of you, but no physical harm.
Hmm. Is this a demi-plane, a pocket dimension? What's in this? And he looks down at the, apparently, it's just, your book is on top of his book, and he can still read his book.
It's giving pocket dimension. And I will warn, it is very experimental, but I think you would be part of a huge part of innovating Ioth Academy, because like I was telling these guys, if we could do all kinds of work, years of work within seconds, we would change Ioth Academy forever. So the risks and the benefits, I would say they're pretty balanced.
Roll persuasion check. Or deception check, depending on how Garnet legitimately feels about this. Persuasion. Okay.
Well, it's
Well,
like
in-
halfsies. I'll roll both. Whatever you care for.
All right. We'll take like the average of that. And you don't know what planar manifold it exists in? Whether it projects into a between space, an otherworldly place? You have any idea of the planar metageometry of this whatsoever?
It doesn't really seem to interact with any other plane, and divination magic can't reach it. Really, nothing goes in, nothing comes out kind of plane, which makes it both very, it just makes it very secure.
Okay, but I need to come out.
Right.
But you said nothing goes in, nothing goes out.
Mostly. Obviously, things go in and sometimes things come out. I mean, both things that I know that went in came out, like me and our old friend, I guess, Alex, also was in here and got out. So, and we're just kids.
He's an asshole.
Yeah, even assholes get out. And you're much smarter, stronger, and better at all this than we are, so...
It seems like a considerable test of will.
Yeah.
Give me an insight check, please. Everyone who's in the room. We are on fire right now. Your insight's only a 3. You rolled a 19.
11.
18.
Okay. Athalor, not getting much of a read on him right now. His eyes are flickering about, and he's clearly in thought. Mason. He has a high opinion of his own force of will. This is a man who, despite believing that the easiest way is always the best way, is self-confident. He, in the past, he never expected to hold this role because he is not a leader. He's an individual contributor. He has a very strong sense of his own intelligence and his own research, but prefers to work alone most of the time. And Garnet, as he's considering all of this, mulling this over, you get that read on him that he has a very high opinion of his own force of will. That doesn't concern him at all. But you also catch his eyes flitting over the three of you to the alcove with the silver runes inlaid inside and the silver shackles on the wall. He's considering, he's pondering, he's hopeful.
Kind of looks back at whatever he was looking at, making it very obvious. Like,
what you looking at?
Is there anything any further questions? Oh, I have a question. Do you have a wife? Do you have kids?
What? No.
Husband? Anyone you care about here?
Sometimes I get drinks with the other faculty.
Ooh, which one's your favorite?
Mhm.
Okay. He's looking back at the party, like slowly.
I think what Garnet is getting at is what would be perhaps someone or something that you have the strongest tie to, something that might make it easier for you to latch back onto. Yeah.
I think I know. A place. We'd have to do this in the right place. The Alabaster Garden. The Alabaster Garden is effectively a graveyard at the Academy where the dead are commemorated.
Is that where you chose to pursue necromancy?
No, I figured that out during my understudies.
So is it giving like, ooh, I would do anything to go back there?
No, it's just... It's the place that I feel most at peace, calm.
What about like a dad or a mom? Grandmother? Dog?
Long dead. Long dead.
Well,
I did not arrive here recently, and I did not arrive here under the calmest of conditions.
Do you think Garnet, the graveyard thing wouldn't work? I mean, from your experience, what made yours so special?
I mean, I just heard the voices of my friends, and I didn't want to be alone anymore. And then I was out.
So you just had to want it.
Want it bad enough. Yeah.
Fine. Shouldn't be a problem.
And for the sake of this being an experiment, are we telling anyone outside of this room that this is happening?
Is that a question for us or for Inkashush?
Is like looking at Inkashush, like, are we gonna tell him tomorrow? Are we gonna like discuss
Are
this?
there any reasons we shouldn't?
Well, they might have some opposition to the idea, and then you would have to work many years, probably till you die, to do this alternatively.
Then no, it's not their
safest.
business.
Okay, fair enough. Kind of smiles at the party, like, see?
Smiles back.
How long does it take to put this together?
About 12 seconds.
Do you need your...
Well, yes. And I need to bring all my books. I need to go to the right place at the Alabaster Garden with everything that I'm going to need.
Oh, Garnet, when you went under the first time, how many of your possessions did you have?
No, it was how many of my possessions did I have?
Here's the thing. You went there mentally, not physically.
Just kind of the idea here, right? We're like
Mm-hmm.
He's
mentally
gonna also
sending
pull
him
an I am alone.
So if you're sending his mind, does his mind already contain all of those books? Because your body wasn't there, so your physical belongings weren't there. Only a mental projection of your physical belongings were there. So theoretically, if he brought a bunch of books he's never read, he wouldn't be able to read them.
Could he, or how much of a dream type of state is that plane? Like where you could think up stuff. It's not at all like that.
You tried that. You tried that many times during the 5 years of your life that you spent there.
How well do you know those books? Like, do you really need the books?
Yes, the whole point is to do the studying.
I don't know if the books can go.
What's the point?
I think it's more about having memorized the books, but not quite understanding all the concepts yet, and being able to conflate theories in the accelerated time space rather than ingest the information wholesale.
Well, it's a lot less useful, isn't it?
Can I try to open my book, put it on one of his books, and say alone, and see if the book gets sucked into the book?
Sure. You just want to try with one of his books?
Yeah, not the really valuable, not the really valuable one, please.
That's the Libris Mortis.
Oh, okay, not that one. Whatever, like, pick fucking that thesaurus that's off to the side, like a fucking thesaurus.
Okay. My dictionary.
My voice is the fucking Western Word book.
Oopsie whoopsie. Nothing happens.
She must like a weird ass mime doing it as well.
I'm just like alone. Alone. I don't think you can bring books. But it's all about your mind.
Then I'm gonna need some time to intake all of this.
Right.
I don't know, a few weeks.
Okay.
At least. Yeah. Some memory magic, some additional psychic storage of some
write it on
kind.
your arm? Just write the whole book on your arm?
There's a stack of books next to him.
Looks over at them and,
We're
like a
gonna
cheat
need
sheet.
another arm.
Yeah, just like a cheat sheet.
Is there not a way to like project these books just mentally, but have it so it could go with you
Fuck 'em
there?
could put the memories of someone who's read these books into you.
That is interesting.
If we had access to Ioth's memories, we'd have a lot fewer problems.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I want to trust a, no offense, group of random students with the memories of the former Archmage.
Do you even have those? Do you have those floating around somewhere? Are they in your back pocket?
Well, I was thinking that Ioth statue has some thoughts,
It would have some. Yes, it would have some.
but I don't want to go extracting those and giving it to people.
I need these.
So the only other person who's read this is Ioth?
And some of it, Athalor. But his intention was to read a bunch of books on the topic. Like, he was going to bring an entire stack of books with him so that he could read all of them and sort of formulate during that time.
Well, if you're gonna spend all this time to read, then you should just read not in the void.
You got the void.
I guess you'll have to do it the hard way.
Ugh. He clearly is not enthused at the idea, but seems to have come to a logical impasse. He needs... Go ahead.
If you want to do any magical experimentation, like once you have all these books all up here, if you want to
full game it out.
Yeah, if you want to experiment magically and really perfect it, I think this is where that could come in. And yeah.
Okay. I have some ideas. Let me do my research and I'll contact you if I think I've got something.
Okay. And don't tell anybody about this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Pleasure to see you, Master Inkashish. Enjoy your reading.
He grunts, already looking back through the pages of the work of the Archmage Ioth and the missing Lich Tarsilmore. And doesn't say anything else unless you bug him. So the three of you are free to depart.
Just sighs as she walks out, like, damn it.
I mean, if we could find a way to like be able to move physical objects along with you into that plane, then it could be everything you promised and more when it comes to accelerated thinking.
Like if I took my shadow walk gateway and just made it for the void, then we could just use it as a door and go in and out with things.
Roll an Arcana check, please, Garnet.
I'm just.
I feel like the last time you opened a door to a void, it annihilated everything that it came into contact with, including the Book of Dawn.
I mean, I would just like high magic kind of fuck around with the matrix of this spell, like to kind of change it. But I don't think people should go to the void. It wasn't pleasant, but it wasn't gonna be me doing it. But
People shouldn't go to a void. Pitcher's going to a void.
like I said, I'm not volunteering for it. He was the one excited about it.
This is an exceptional circumstance.
I just think that was if we could have pulled this off, that would have been huge. But one void project at a time, I guess.
Sure, this gives you a couple of weeks to figure out this protective barrier. Maybe this will give you some insight into what kind of void space can actually be habitable.
Yeah.
For more than just your mind for a few seconds, years. How long did you say it was? 5 years?
Yeah.
Oh, you're so old.
How long?
I can legally drink, technically.
How long was it for us again? Like 30 seconds?
Yeah.
That's a lot of time to think.
Yeah.
Especially didn't come back with your own theme song.
Came back with a will to murder. Is that good enough?
Like better than the theme song, yeah.
What have you been up to, Mason? So that sucked. What about you?
Yeah, just the looking into Conscare kind of things. Just trying to think of ideas about how to defuse this little ancestral bomb, or not really bomb, I guess, but yeah, binding spell.
Have you told Oryx yet?
No, I've kind of been cooking up what to say, but do want to take a trip there and, go up the mountain. At least let Oryx know that, hey, this is a thing. If they don't already know, I don't know if they would already know or not.
What? So we can't just like cut off your horns, right? Like,
I did think of that, actually.
Would that hurt? Are there like nerves in there?
Definitely would hurt. I think.
I flick one of his horns.
I imagine they're like teeth.
Yeah, yeah. That definitely hurt. Definitely hurt. I mean, I felt that.
The outer layer doesn't have nerve endings, but there's like a core of living tissue that definitely does.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong.
Bump them or whatever. It's, fine, but yeah. Tug at them too hard or cut them, and yeah, very painful.
There's a way to like analyze you to see if this source of magic is secluded to these things or is on the rest of you. And then we could just cut them off if they were secluded and maybe like, I don't know, dispose of them somehow.
Honestly, if for some reason the fix was just to cut them off and that would be fine, I would definitely consider it. It'd be easier than all the other stuff.
Get some cool prosthetic ones.
Don't forget that it doesn't have to be him. It could be any member of his generation.
Right.
But it won't be him. We could keep our friend.
Just fix it there.
Yeah. But yeah. Still working on the whole mirror variant thing into the plane of mirrors thing.
When you would like to experiment with that, a secure room has been established. The artificers have been working on Doakai's rune of mirror protection. And thanks to the research that you have been doing, there's a lot of progress in terms of modifying the rune. It's not to the point that you want it to be yet, Mason, but they believe that they can change it. Right now, if you put that rune on a mirror, it would completely sever that mirror's connection to the plane of mirrors. Like it just would no longer touch it at all. They are very close to editing it or using it as part of a spell that prevents passage but doesn't separate it.
Okay, perfect.
So if they have a room set up for experimentation with that under very secure guard because, again, mirror nonsense.
Yeah.
But when you would like to go there, that is part of tonight's entertainment.
Okay.
I don't have anything pressing.
As you're going about your business, Sig walks by with a gaggle of a whole bunch of different students. They all seem to be like post-grads, wearing the white robes of an academy mage, but with green stoles and trim. They're arcane botanists. They're just like Sig and just like Ariana. They're part of the College of Arcane Botany. And they're walking past in a hubbub, like all talking to each other. Sig's just kind of like walking in the middle of them as they're all going back and forth. And one of them opens a scroll, and you hear a shimmering voice that sounds like golden bells emerge from the scroll as it's open. Whichsoever court brings forth a flower from their garden that has never been touched by sunlight, tasted earth, drank water, or breathed air, whichever court produces the loveliest flower will win the challenge. And then they continue arguing, and they're like making a beeline for the Tarselmore greenhouse.
Are they doing some fairy game shit?
I don't know.
Sounds like it.
What can I do a perception check to have grabbed snippets of conversation?
Yeah, go ahead.
From the gaggle of botanists, 21.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like while you were gone, the Sealy Court of Neve of the Golden Hair issued a challenge to the other courts, and they're working on it.
It's making flowers. Oh, it's all right for some, huh? Maybe Neve's favor will be useful someday. Am I supposed to say their names a bit like the Infernals? Who knows?
It's not as bad.
We're good.
Kind of depends on where you are. For the Arc Fae, it's more like it's a lot more context sensitive. If you're someplace that has nothing to do with their sphere of influence and you say their name, they probably won't hear. But if you're like walking through an enchanted forest where the veil is thin between there and the other world, I'd be careful about it there.
Time to do some mirror shit?
I guess.
Sure.
As you go to prepare your things, Garnet, at your door, the door to your room, is a small basket woven of reeds, these very like red reeds that grow in the rivers that flow from the springs of Brontha. It is tied with a golden ribbon, and there is an envelope on top of it. And you can smell something delicious inside of it.
And opens the letter.
Inside is a handwritten letter from Cyrus, inviting you to a picnic this weekend. Here's a little sample of what's going to be on the menu. And inside there's some marinated and cooked like bites of meat on kebabs. There's a couple of nut paste, like folded, rolled over, flaky nut pastries, a bunch of delicious Bronthan home cooked food.
Oh, jeez. I have so much work to do. It just brings the basket inside and sets it on her table and thinks and also asks the DM if any plans were happening this weekend. Like if we had stuff.
No, there are no. You actually have a decent amount of time. One thing that I will bring forward to the group is Untermaler, and I'm not going to go into detail on this since Legs is BRB, but remember that Untermaler laid out a plan to infiltrate Nenri while they're being invaded by gnolls, and he laid it out in front of Niehethel, who is a spy for Athalor's father, maybe uncle. And then afterwards, he confided in you that he actually wants to set a trap for Niehethel. There is no plan to do that yet. He is focused on crushing the Windscour horde, but he wanted to plant that seed in your minds to have you start thinking about what kind of trap you could set for him if he thinks you're going to attack or infiltrate Nenri, to try to free the mortals who are imprisoned in the psychic well beneath the city. But that doesn't have to be this weekend. You actually have like a decent amount of downtime right now until one of those triggers is pulled.
Okay. I guess I won't give an answer since he's not here. So
Okay. You don't have to. You absolutely don't have to.
I'll just do a next scene moment. I'll think about it and we'll just do the next scene.
Okay. I'll go ahead and move us on to the experiment room. Athalor will catch up.
All right.
Assuming that Firefox wants to play ball. Let's see. Extra planar. There you are. And there we go. And here we are. Let me just make sure everything looks right. Athalor, I think you were here for the picnic basket.
Oh, is she sharing?
He was not here for the picnic basket.
Gasp.
Garnet had a picnic basket from Cyrus on her doorstep.
Oh, glorious.
And seemed exasperated by it.
Less glorious. We can share him.
True.
This chamber is warded upon entry with Doakai's rune. The anchor rune that seals off the plane of mirrors. You see it on these pillars as well, in these lit behind these torches. It's all over this room, and as you walk in, there's almost a pressure in the air from the sheer strength of the abjuration spells that have been laid upon this place. Layer upon layer, many of them recent. A lot of the Academy experiment rooms have been enchanted for a long time. This room has been specifically sealed for a specific purpose. And because of that, it feels very different. There is a block of stone, like a stone pillar that was recently raised, you can tell, with magic. This was not originally part of this room. And in front of it is a mirror. And inscribed on that mirror is a modified version of Doakai's rune, along with other sigils of protection all around it, glowing with a blue light. It's maybe the first time in a while that you have just stood in front of a mirror.
Yeah, it feels very, very weird, very strange. Kind of very tentatively looks at it and walks up to it, kind of inspects the rune. Just to kind of make sure, like, okay, does it do what it is intended to do? And
roll an investigation check.
Okay. Investigation.
8.
Well, lucky dice it. Sure, why not?
I'll hit him with a guidance tap on my shoulder as well. I was there giving you guidance, but also checking himself out in the mirror. He's been able to see much of his new body.
Yeah, she's looking and checking her hair too.
Looking at mirrors feels too weird for Antra's distracted. It's 11 total.
Okay. It seems all right. It kind of follows the precepts that you were working on developing, but you've been multitasking in a lot of ways, so
yeah. And for clarity, at least from what Mantra knew previously about the intention of this rune, is that upon entering mirror plane, then nothing else can enter?
That's your hope, eventually.
That's the hope. Okay.
This rune, this modified rune, allows this mirror to remain connected to the plane of mirrors, like all mirrors normally are, but nothing can cross. Nothing can pass from this side to the other side, or vice versa.
I see.
So it is a safe area for you to conduct your experiments. There is also a glowing rune on the wall behind you, on the rectangular pillar that goes from floor to ceiling. The pillar is designed so that you can stand behind it and be completely out of line of sight of the mirror. And on this side, there is a rune that you can touch to activate a shatter spell that will instantly destroy the mirror.
Oh, nice
just in
fail-safe.
case. Yeah. All right.
So, Mantra, these things that are connected to the realm of mirrors, but you can't pass through, does that mean you can perceive further than our own reflection through them? Can you, like, look into the realm of mirrors?
I don't know. I guess that's what we're here to find out.
Suppose so.
Could try. It's kind of weird. All right, it's fine. Mantra kind of walks up to the mirror and.
Oh, it's over. It's over. It's the blue thing.
Oh, it's the blue thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
The self-destruct rune is on the other side.
I see.
All right. You
mirror
walk up
over
to it, and what
here.
do you do?
Well, theoretically, shouldn't be able to pass through it, right? So, we'll like put a hand closer, like very slowly, like stupidly slowly, but eventually, like just putting a fingertip on it and seeing if anything happens. Like pulls away really quickly once like touches it, but just to make sure nothing will happen.
It's cold to the touch. It pushes back on you like mirrors have for most of your life.
Turns around and says, well, it's not sucking me in or anything. That's good. It seems to work, I suppose.
So, I don't know if we covered this one before. Do you have a potential mirror variant as someone who's like seemingly descended of the line of the big one?
I would assume so. Like an opposite, like a clone?
Yeah. I figured that like
see a
the
reason
mirror
why
keeper
not.
doesn't have one, so maybe the lineage might also not.
Would I have any insight into the gnomes, or would I like assume that?
Roll Arcana.
I think I'll just. Okay. Arcana. I will circle for myself, and I'll think on this question. So 20.
Okay. Under normal circumstances, nobody has a mirror clone. A mirror clone is only created when you pass into the realm of mirrors. At that exact moment, a clone of you is created. And when you leave the plane of mirrors, that clone ceases to exist. The only way it can live is if it kills you. Then it can exit into the real world. So Garnet doesn't have a mirror clone unless she gets... So what Imago normally does is send his agents, his creatures, to drag people in. That's how they're replaced. So if this mirror was functional, if it was an operational two-way connection to the plane of mirrors, which right now it's read-only, a creature with the ability to pass through it could jump out and grab you and try to drag you in.
Okay. Yeah, under normal circumstances, theoretically, if I entered the mirror plane, the copy of me should still exist.
And your lineage, you have no idea whether you would be exempt or not.
Okay, so I'll remain suspicious of you at every point. Good to know.
Yep, just carry a little gem around and wait, do we still have a gem? Do we have that?
I didn't give it back.
Okay. All right.
They don't remember I have it, therefore yes.
It's mine until someone takes it.
Isn't that how all property works?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, would there be a way to like look into the mirror plane without like entering it from this side?
Magic.
Use my eye thing. Oh, does this go through? Can't enter another plane. Is mirror considered another
Yes,
plane?
the plane of mirrors is another plane of existence.
If I throw Una in there, they'll get cloned, I think.
Correct.
Yeah.
We could scry. Does scrying work?
Scrying
be able to
might work. Scrying might
I
work.
actually have in my notes from a previous adventure that we learned how to scry through mirrors due to learning some mirror magic scrolls. We have shoot through
Perfect.
mirrors, thinking with portal style. We have move between mirrors and scry through mirrors.
Well, that's perfect.
That's exactly what you need for this.
The
Is that from
orb.
Tarsimor's library?
Yes, I believe that was from Tarsimor's library.
Okay. So you can use those to modify your spells and try to come up with some experimental concoctions in order to do something here.
Yeah, I thought you have insights on that. All right, you have notes. I'm kind of pull out the orb and already
Yeah.
to it. Nice.
So in the absolute mess of a book that Athor has, which is just like loose leaf notes now, just stolen from like Archmage's past. Yeah, it's in here somewhere. But find Tarsimor, or probably not Tarsimor's notes, but from Tarsimor's archive. These mirror magic notes.
All right. Munch was like trying to parse over through any of these notes too while he's showing them. It's like, okay, so I guess we need to do this and this.
Roll an Arcana check to go through it. Garnet, you've studied mirror magic as well. You might be able to use that, what you've studied, to modify existing spells. And this doesn't all have to happen over the course of one scene because you have some downtime. We can montage this a little bit to allow you to experiment with different things, even if they would take a while.
Do you want me to roll as well?
No, not until you have something specific you want to try. Like right now, Mason specifically wants to try scrying through the plane of mirrors.
All right, I will be lucky dicing that and also circling. By the way.
Oh, boy. I'll give you a guidance.
Okay, so
21 plus, come on, 4?
Ooh,
3.
24.
Okay, you think you can give it a shot. You think you can try it.
All right, we scry.
What do you want to scry on?
I guess just the location, right? Because we don't know if
Scrying
there'd be
locks on to people. I
Oh,
believe.
was it only people?
Drop the spell. Drop the spell.
Let's see.
If you have it, otherwise just pull it up.
I am pulling it up. I don't have it.
I might have it in mind.
Oh, instead of targeting a creature, you can choose a location you have seen before as the target of the spell. What have I seen the mirror plane before?
Well, I mean, this can just be proof of concept. Somewhere you've seen a mirror before. What about?
Yeah.
What about Dorkai's little mind palace? Well, that's probably a little bit harder to get to. I think.
Yeah.
Where else have we seen mirrors?
Actually doesn't exist anymore.
Oh yeah, it got nuked.
True,
Sage destroyed
Sage
it.
Did. Yeah. Yeah. When I target a location, the sensor appears location and doesn't move. So if I, in theory, try to determine what a mirror plane would look like, can I scry it?
1 XP.
Plus 1
For you
XP.
and me.
You're talking about like if I wanted to scry the mortal world,
Yeah.
which is all of Anakra.
So what would happen? You just get somewhere random.
No, it wouldn't work because that's not like
Just wouldn't
one
work.
location,
Yeah.
you know?
Okay,
It basically has
okay.
to be a point or a site, somewhere where you can stick a magical floating camera.
Yeah.
It's
I
just, like,
don't know
trying to-
many spaces that just freely have mirrors for the same reason that we don't have them around.
Yeah,
Garnet,
we
is this a
need
good use of your time? Couldn't you be working on the Void Sphere right now?
The voices.
I was just like sighing loudly and just kind of waiting off to the side, zoned out.
She can copper squat and read, you know?
Meanwhile, Mason's just in the Mind Palace being like, okay, how do we figure out a way to see into the plane of mirrors so I could scry it so I could see if it's safe working as intended? I'm kind of a little bit frustrated. It turns to Garnet Lores. Any ideas that we can, I mean, without being dangerously going in?
Okay, here's some cooking gnomes. If
Mhm.
I did the mirror variant, had it cross over, it can cast spells as me.
Mm-hmm.
Then I use the arcane eye while the mirror variant casts arcane eye while in the mirror plane. And the spell's being casted as me, so I could see through the eye.
Whoa.
I dig it.
The theory is sound. The theory is sound.
Let her cook.
Is that what you would like to do?
Oh, I'm DM checking a sanity DM check.
Like I said, the theory is sound.
Oh. But I don't know if my variant's gonna get cloned. I guess it only
won't.
clones.
It's not real. It's a reflection.
Illusion.
By definition, it can't be. Yeah, it cannot be cloned.
Okay, I could try it, but that'll be all my spell slots for the day until I go take a nap, which I would love to do and just leave. Actually, you want me to try that?
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, go for
do
it.
this, then fuck off and have a nap, I guess.
Oh, fuck off and have a nap. We'll summon my mirror variant then.
Okay. Your mirror variant is on the other side, looking back at you.
So it crossed to the
It just
other
appeared
side.
on the other side. Because it's mirror magic, it just passed, and it's not a physical thing. The spell doesn't block it. It's immediately on the other side of the mirror.
Okay, is gonna try to arcane eye.
So that is also a concentration spell.
Oh fuck.
But you have a variant on the other side that you can't see through its eyes, but you can control it.
What am I gonna like? Like go around? Do I have any div spells that are not concentration? Do we have scrolls? Because we could just maybe grab a scroll of something.
You can't use scrolls. You can cast spells, but you cannot use. It doesn't say you can use items.
Oh.
I don't have it right now, but I know that there's a spell amongst the rune magic in the arcane that lets you concentrate on 2 spells at once. It's a 5th level.
Wait, if Garnet Arcane Eyes in there and I scry on Garnet, and so would I see what Garnet is seeing?
Wait, do I even need to concentrate on the mirror variant? I just pop the arcane eye, mirror variant fucks off, and I am.
You have it in there?
You can try that. Do you want to try that?
Sure.
Okay. Roll a Arcana check and a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, I hate that. Arcana and Constitution. I will lucky die that just in case.
all right.
I'm not.
Not better.
It's.
I don't think we can do anything for con saves. Wait, can I silvery barbs you to make you roll the Constitution save again?
Just nerf something Mason's doing and give me advantage. Mason
Yeah, I can do that,
silver
sure.
barbs.
I tried to do a handstand.
I silvery barbs Mason attempting a handstand.
You could just take a nap and try again. We're in montage mode. You could absolutely take a nap and try again.
All right. I'm back.
Why are we trying to bring back the Archmage? Why? Scratch that. Why are they trying to bring back the Archmage?
I don't know. I don't think it's possible.
Okay.
But I'm
Then
helping.
What? Oh, that's good. Why waste time on it then?
It's a fun little experiment. Shut up. I see what you're saying, but shut up.
Besides, if you're so concerned about the void sphere colliding with the golden sphere, why not use that? You're a shadow mage. With her gone, you're probably one of the most accomplished shadow mages. Couldn't you use that to hide the academy, keep it safer somewhere nobody can find it?
That's true. I hadn't thought of that inner voice.
Mm-hmm. Just mull it over, my jewel.
Just puts a pillow over her head. Like, I need to sleep more.
The voices.
I don't want. I'm going back to bed.
All right. An hour later, Garnet is done dealing with the voices and is going to try it again.
Mirror variant. Oh yeah, do I have to roll again? Arcana.
The mirror variant pops off without a problem. There is a very physical lurch, a sense of intense vertigo, and some nausea. As you project this image of yourself, this mirror, it's almost as if you're creating a mirror clone, but it's not a full clone. It's just like a clone of your image, and it's linked to you. Then casting this other spell in another plane of existence. Then your connection to that plane of existence flickers out, but you manage to seize it through that way. So it's very disorienting, not only as this arcane eye appears and you can see through it, but as the spell itself disconnects and reconnects to you, everything's backwards. It's very, very confusing, but this time it doesn't break your concentration and you're able to hold it. The arcane eye is now floating.
Is it in the mirror plane? Can I guess
It's
I'll
on the other
tune
side of
into
the mirror,
channel
yeah.
That is.
It's floating around in here. The room looks identical for the most part. You look, if it turns around and looks back, you don't see a reflection. You see all of you on the other side.
Oh.
So it is in the mirror plane.
Mm-hmm.
It worked, Connor?
I think so. It just points at the reflection of the eye over there. Or I guess you guys can't see it because it's invisible. Here, I'll post it again, but I see it. And
It's
I'll
also
just have
inside
it
the
start
mirror.
Traveling.
Okay. As it
I'll start having it
flies
travel.
through very, very quickly, the moment it leaves this room. Oh, let me turn off dynamic lighting so you can actually see this area.
Oh. Oh, wow.
An almost empty space comprised everywhere that you can see. The picture isn't quite accurate, perfect here because I don't have a map where everything's made of glass. Every single surface is made of glass. The eye, it can't see invisible things, which is good because otherwise it would just see its own reflection in all sorts of different weird places. Passageways of pure glass, most of them not fractured, but bent and shaped and different jagged edges and facets and sharp enough that you could cut yourself to pieces on them. But then down these different passages and corridors, perfectly smooth mirrors. And on the other side of them, other places. When you look into these mirrors, you don't see a reflection. You see the other side.
Oh my god, it's so kawaii.
Drew myself an eye.
Nice. We have an avatar.
We'll have it move. Let's have it keep going.
Okay.
What are the other places that it can see into?
Looking into one, you see fire. Just pure fire. There almost seems like there's a pattern inside the fire. Roll a perception check.
I'm constantly guidancing Garnet as she's piling this thing around. As the rest of us are gonna rely on her narration.
Yeah, I'll narrate if I'm allowed to talk during concentration.
You can. You don't have to
It's
like
a restoration ward, Garnet, in case something goes wrong.
The fire is a barrier, and you can see the reversed version of protective sigils on the other side. Somebody, whatever this mirror is, it's been sealed off from the other side. But you don't necessarily, you can't read them. They're not in a language that you understand.
Can I show the party if they see or tell the party the language or describe it somehow, see if they know?
You can certainly try. Roll intelligence checks, the other two, please.
Sure.
Oh yeah. Got a feeling it's going to be primordial. Ignan, maybe.
That's draconic.
Ooh.
I know draconic.
Huh. Where did we find mirror variants? Was Kepisk a mirror variant?
Kepisk was a mirror clone. Remember, mirror variant is just an illusion spell that uses mirror magic. Yeah.
I'm too Garnet cooking pilled.
All good. All good. Again, this map is an abstraction.
We got to make our arcane eye sexier.
Mascara that bitch up.
I'm trying. People say it's hairy. It's got eyelashes. Now I'm nervous.
Making me self-conscious of my arcane eye.
Yeah, it's doing its best, okay?
From what Garnet narrated, is there anything else we could glean about this draconic location? It seemed like it was in possibly the underworld with all the fire?
No, the fire is part of the seal.
Ah, gotcha. Sealing magic. And we didn't see what's on the other side?
Correct. The fire obscures it, and it looks dangerous as well.
Mm.
In fact, if you had to say, you'd say the fire isn't in the mortal plane. It is somehow smack between the barrier, that infinitesimal space, that gap between the mirror and the plane of mirrors mirror. It's in the planar boundary.
Maybe it's the literal plane of fire. It's fire to seal it.
I fell down into the plane of fire.
Okay, what else is there? Are there any open ones? Or active,
Garnet,
I suppose.
Roll 1d100, please.
I didn't do it.
It's not what you think. It's not what you think.
It's not what you think.
Okay. As it is floating around and experiment and just searching, the eye comes upon a little alcove in the shining, faceted material. Like it kind of has to duck down and then it goes up into an alcove, just a little hollow. There's no other mirrors in here, and every single side of this every facet of this little small, like 5 foot wide place has been scratched.
Scratched? Like
Yeah.
claws?
Maybe a weapon? Like a metal instrument, like a knife or something? It's just been like scratched all over the place.
Like a battle?
No. There's a bedroll on the ground. A backpack. And a corpse.
Oh.
A long, dried out skeleton.
The fingertips, are they worn down on the skeleton?
No.
Can I tell if it's an
And
adult?
It was an adult. It was definitely an adult.
Woman or man?
Roll
Female or
medicine
male?
check.
Ooh.
Probably assigned male at birth.
Okay.
And roll
the
an
body
investigation or perception check for me, please.
Feel free to add your D4s.
True.
It's guidance season, baby.
In addition to all the surfaces being scratched out, it's not just random scratches. Some of them are words. 2 words, actually. Over and over and over and over thousands of times. Don't look, 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 don't look.
Yikes.
I am looking around to see what they don't want me to look at. Where?
I disregard the advice instantly.
There's nothing to see in here because all the reflective surfaces have been scratched to the point of illegibility.
Oh, that's why, I guess.
Maybe this was some kind of... I don't know. A mirror clone that didn't want to fulfill its purpose? Or
Mirror
maybe they were
clones,
somehow...
upon death, shatter.
It's a human who
Someone got
escaped
stuck there.
from their clone.
Someone who knew what looking at a mirror would do. Maybe they were captured by the Mirror Keeper and were somehow immune from being cloned if they didn't meet eyes with a mirror.
Sorry, was this within the mirror plane or within the,
This is inside the plane. This is not through a portal. This is in the plane of mirrors. This is in the mirror world.
Oh.
So when you beat a mirror clone, you emerge from the mirror plane, right? So this is
No. When you
No.
kill a mirror clone, the mirror clone shatters and you're still in the plane of mirrors.
Oh, okay.
And you could theoretically go back out the way you came in?
Or another way. Like, if it
could.
wasn't for the plane of mirrors ignores, like, it's been so hard for you guys to block mirror travel because it ignores the rules of magic in so many ways. It's this weird phenomenon. So if you could use it safely, it could be a shortcut to all sorts of places. You could use it to travel across the world. You could use it to assassinate people. But it is incredibly dangerous because of the cloning factor.
Do we know how many times a person can be mirror cloned if they defeat the initial one?
Every time. Every time you enter, if you defeat the... no, if you destroy your clone, you're actually safe.
Even if you exit and leave and exit and leave?
Mm-hmm.
Or exit and re-enter, rather?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Ooh.
At least with that mirror. There may be others. Mirrors are linked by different phenomena. The person who made them, the wood of the frame that they're in, different esoteric phenomena link them. So you may be safe if you enter one of those linked mirrors, but not some other mirror.
Curious.
They would lead to the same plane, though, right?
Probably. Unless, let's say that 2 mirrors were linked because a huge tree that was struck by lightning fell down and its wood was used to make the frames, and now they're linked by fate. And they were all on the mortal plane, and one of them got spirited away to the other world to be put in Neve's beautiful flower bower. Now it's there, and the link still works.
Oh, okay.
Garnet, as you're looking around at all of this, you notice a flicker of light reflecting in from the corridor outside of this little cubby.
I will move the eye towards it.
Okay. The eye floats out invisibly down through the little place that you have to cut through and up. And you see a figure walking on 2 feet through the passageways, a little mote of light floating above their hand, a cloak swishing about their feet. As the eye scans up we cut to a break, and we'll be back in a few minutes, folks. Don't go anywhere. More Book of Dawn, Ioth Academy when we return.
Man.
As you yeet that rock with that alien on it, I don't want to die! As he, like Krillin and DBZ just explodes.
Another little glowy worm crawls out. Timothy!
Oh, I'm sorry. Unbeknownst to you, you've killed the mayor of the Worms town. He had brought peace and prosperity to his new empire, but now their society cast adrift on an asteroid, leaderless, falls into chaos once again, and decays from within. And
look, sometimes I don't know my own strength. I'm sorry.
I had one thing left to do, and now she's getting frustrated because this motherfucker not listening. So, as like maybe blood is coming out of her nose or something from
Only a little.
necrotic damage, we'll just kind of start laughing, and we'll place the open book on her face like a mask, and say, "You will be alone just like me," in the exact word that Seosh said in that one time. Leaving you with a nice little cliffhanger.
Yeah, okay, bye.
What's happening?
Okay, so I had some idea that you were going to do something, but I never thought for a moment about using the book as a Vox mask. I have no idea what that does. I have not.
I don't know either.
Foggy.
Oh my god, he's like so smart.
And Tarsamore also saved. So yeah, the woman is the only one who suffered in this. We live in a
The
fucking
woman's
society.
the dumb one. Oh, the dice. Dice
That's
is sexist.
okay. How
Uh,
a chain is only as strong as its weakest link when it comes to rituals.
oh, now women are weak. I love this campaign.
Wait, what are you saying?
Okay, describe this devil's fate at the claws of Slobber Chops.
He gets like whipped around, lands on his head, still like conscious and alive. Slobs just starts like going at his ass, just like and just disembowels him.
Oh! Like I imagine the camera pans away and you hear a sound like a wood chipper, and you just hear gore spewing off to the side. It's like somewhat, discretionary shot, but everybody.
His legs are like.
And then Slobber Chops' face comes up into the screen, covered in gore, and it just does the one lick, the one like aggressive face lick. Yep.
I hate exactly what it is. I hate everything I stand for.
Then tell me everything you believe may have occurred.
You ever heard of the ass snake?
I don't know.
Oh, he said ass snake.
I don't know what they preach where you come from, mortal, but that's not actually a problem. We don't really care. That's, whatever keeps being alive joyful, you keep being alive joyful. That's not my concern.
Do minor illusion and create a top hat, milady.
Just walk 10 feet away and then
You need her.
She's so angry.
If you ever milady me, I will punch you in the face.
You'd have to be a lady first for me to milady you.
Excuse me?
Nothing, Grandmaster. I would never dream of disrespecting you in that way.
And why is Garnet upset?
Because I'm gonna die alone out of the lore.
Don't you have like an arranged marriage?
No, that doesn't count.
Wait, you have an arranged marriage?
I'm in no such relationship that's been null and voided. The terms of the contract are canceled. I'm gonna be
Creatures of flesh, now you shall hear the words of the emissary of the Maelstrom. Are you the one who has polluted this holy place with the machines and their wretched city?
No, but I just came back from destroying a machine city, and I think we want the same thing. I also hate pollution.
Give me a persuasion check, please.
+5 respect for
15.
Eco Warrior faction.
I'm Green Party, man. I'm Green Party. Please.
Save the turtles, bro.
Save the turtles.
Thoras, you know this angel? Vouch for me. We've helped each other.
Thoras does not know the angel, but Thoras is also confused as to what is going on.
As am I. Help me if you can.
Alan, I have not known you much time, but you seem okay.
A rousing vouch. Thank you, Thoras. You remember when I let you borrow my car? You remember when I gave all of that money to orphan children? You remember when when I gave you those spare tickets that I had to that concert?
Thoras does not remember much. Thoras can only remember falling through the sky and looking very cool.
Waves the crypto boy's body. This one yours?
I'm Fiat.
Yeah, this is the crypto boy.
Yes, that one's ours. You can just go ahead and leave him there.
Oh, okay. Drops him.
Also, disclaimer, chat. Also, not dead.
So, do I see both Crystal Pirate and Artificer?
Yes, and 4 ninjas.
Which one of you two is more important? Or who's the boss?
Hey, who's the biggest bully at school? Which one of you is it?
Crystal Pirate like
Walk right up
floats.
into my secret base.
He's standing on
Punch
this
my
like little
biggest-
crystal thing, and he's just floating there, looking at you with all these colorful crystals floating around him.
I guess I'm the majority share owner, so that would be me.
Alright, I attack.
Welcome back to Book of Dawn, Ioth Academy, where I am both blessed and cursed with these recalcitrant players at my table. When last we left our heroes, they were messing with the incredibly dangerous realm on the other side of the mirror. On the other side of the mirror. Here we go. In these caverns of faceted glass and infinite refracted reflections, the arcane eye that they have projected across planar boundaries through their own ingenuity perceives but does not hear an unknown figure walking through these halls, a mote of blue light flickering above their hands, golden fire streaking from their eyes, dressed in warm colors of reds and golds, and walking purposefully directly past the arcane eye. What do you do?
Is this, where's my eye? I don't know where I am on the map. Is that? Oh, I'm the orb?
Orb.
Oh, I'm the orb. Let's go.
New
I
orb
watch.
dropped.
Can I magically identify this magical entity?
That is a human.
Oh.
Identified.
I describe what this person looks like to the party in case they know him.
Could I have Athalor roll a history check with disadvantage? And Mason, roll a flat history check.
Oh dear.
Guidance on mantra.
I'll circle for myself too.
12.
Oh, W.
Okay, well,
well,
now what am I gonna do?
Social security number acquired.
Jarvis, sequences genome.
4 on the guidance, +5 from the circle. Yeah.
I remember this guy. I remember his fucking cock size.
I guess. I did not plan for this to be someone you actually knew, but I guess he is now.
Nat 20 is breaking the campaign.
Very sure you don't know
Since
this guy.
2019. Okay. You recognize the way she's describing him immediately. This is an Auryxian sorcerer. The blood of Auryx must flow through this person's veins because that's where the majority of sorcerers come from, is they have dragon blood. At least the Ocarthal-ese sorcerers. This is wearing all the garb of somebody from Auryx and the sacred garb of one who's been trained in the sorcerer's arts as a descendant of Auryx himself. And then for some goddamn reason, you know his name. It's Nilranim.
That's Nilly.
You would know that Nilranim is a sorcerer of modest standing who dwells in the sacred capital of the Golden Dragon tribe. Like a member of one of the sacred sorcerer orders. Kind of a rising star, not somebody super famous. It's very random that you know this person. Maybe you read about their adventures. Maybe they visited your town once. But that's who this is. They live in the capital of Auryx.
I'm just like, wait, that's Nelradim by description at least. And like kind of asked you to describe again.
Mm-hmm.
And just as you do, it's like, yep, nope, that's them.
What are they doing in the plane of mirrors?
Are they mirror clones then?
I don't know.
It seems, unless they defeated their mirror clone. Is there any shattered glass or anything over there?
They're moving. They are continuing to move purposefully.
Oh, as he moves, I'm following.
Okay.
Eye-wise.
Maybe, how close are they to that skeleton you saw before?
They're moving away from it?
They walked right past that little alcove.
Oh.
Didn't seem to even notice it.
I mean, Nilranim's been active recently, right? Like, surely maybe the timelines don't line up there. If it's a skeleton, then there would have been some considerable rotting. It's probably been there a year, maybe 2 or 3.
And this has a movement speed of 30, so it's keeping.
You're keeping pace.
Okay, cool.
But it could have been them, right?
I mean, I guess so, yes. But if Nilranim was replaced, then they're currently absent. They would have to exit back to Auryx.
Yeah, they might. Or they just go to and from the mirror plane, right? I feel like that's. Have we heard of? From knowing Kepus, like, did we figure out that Kepus made visits to the mirror plane sometimes?
Yes. Mirror clones don't get cloned when they enter, so they can just pass through at will.
Yeah, so people can still be keeping up their day-to-day for the person they're pretending to be, and then visit the mirror plane freely.
I think it's worth following him.
On it.
Okay. I didn't prepare a map of this next area, so I'm just going to go back to this screen. Nilranim walks for a good 10 minutes through these twisting caverns of reflection, just using barely any light, because that little tiny bit of light scatters across all these different facets, magnified and brightened. Any more would be absolutely blinding. He passes through for 10 minutes, seems to know exactly where he's going. Before arriving, walks through a tunnel, and suddenly it opens up. Incredibly vast. Almost to the edge of your vision in all directions. An enormous cavern with thousands of tunnel entrances all over the place. At the ground level, on the ceiling, on the walls. Just this huge, huge, huge cavern in the mirror plane with all these mirrored passages leading away from them. And just a few feet into this cavern, the floor drops and suddenly becomes absolutely smooth. Whereas the rest of the cavern is all refracted and sort of bent at odd angles, the floor is perfectly polished. And as you look around, you can see waterfalls pouring out of the mouths of some of the tunnels, pouring down into the middle, yet they are completely still. They do not ripple, they do not waver, there is no mist. It's as if somebody's pouring it and it's just frozen, going straight down, perfectly polished. Is it even water? You don't know. But for a moment, you see the tiniest little ripple on this perfectly smooth surface, and then it's gone.
There's water here. Weird. I'm describing all of this to them.
Need to be sustained.
What needs to be sustained?
This looks like some kind of nexus, like a meeting point.
Potentially.
Does this look very different from when me and Ariana were in the plane of...
Yes. When you were in the plane, you were in one of those corridors that I showed you earlier. You never went to this place.
Okay.
Nilranim walks straight forward and then steps onto the surface of the water. And keeps
This water
walking.
looks deep. Oh shit.
It's perfectly reflective. You have no idea how deep it is. You could try sending the eye there, but Nilranim seems to be walking across it.
This does seem like an eye that floats, so I will float across and follow.
Okay. This is like a mile wide, at least. And he's just walking across this perfectly reflected surface. It takes a good 15 more minutes. You've been casting the spell for 30 minutes at this point. You only have 30 minutes left. But Nilranim arrives in the center and stops and kneels down. And you can see that he's not actually stepping on the water itself. His reflection is solid where he walks. He sits down, folds his knees beneath him, and shuts his eyes. And there's a ringing sound, like running your finger along the edge of a crystal glass. And it rings outwards, and ripples, concentric, perfectly symmetrical ripples, echo forth from the sorcerer.
For like, since an action is like 6 seconds, can I take 6 seconds to pop a charge of Gem of True Seeing and go back to the because the eye uses my senses, apparently.
Nope. You mentally receive visual information from the eye, which has normal vision and dark vision. Your senses, it does not have your senses.
Oh, no, it's the variant that has my senses. Fuck. Never mind. Okay, no charge. Okay. I watch.
Okay. And then suddenly, standing upside down, a reflection only, on the other side of this mirror water, is you, Garnet. Wreathed in golden fire, wings resplendent, echoing out the wings of the phoenix. The sign on your hand blazing so bright you cannot actually see the symbol, clad in the garb of the priest king of Brontha. Beautiful, powerful, and even though it's just your size reflection, it seems so much vaster than anything else in here.
Reflections in the water? Or is it
Yes. It's in the water. It's upside down. That's all you see.
Is it under the arcane eye?
It's not under the arcane eye. It's standing in front of / upside down from Nilranim.
And could I tell what spell he was cast? Like, did he do any hand movements or say anything?
No. Roll an insight check.
What the fuck?
Maybe that's the Mirror Keeper, and
I love that.
the form that the Mirror Keeper presents to you is your idealized self.
Why is he thinking of me right now?
I'm not even sure.
This?
I'm not even sure that is Garnet's ideal self at this point. But anyways,
I mean, or the opposite side of yourself. Maybe the sorcerer sees something different. It's like an optical illusion.
Maybe mine thinks that somehow they know there's an eye there and know that you're behind the eye, and then I don't know.
I mean, it's some kind of mind game either way. Are they speaking?
If I'm behind them, I circle around to the front.
they are speaking, and you can't hear what they're saying. So I shouldn't have told you about the crystal
lips?
sound earlier.
Can I read lips?
Roll a perception check.
Oh my god, bro. Help.
Plus guidance.
Oh yeah.
Guidance.
14.
Okay.
Oh boy.
You're picking up some of it. The reflection says his name, Nilranim. You will go and gain the trust of throughout the tribe.
That's a miracle.
Then
That's a miracle. That's a miracle.
You think?
When Conscare immediately your purpose, Nilranim bows and speaks in response. But his face is lowered. You can't see exactly what it is that he's saying. Mirror Garnet smiles and reaches out a hand, cupping the reflection's cheek, not above the water, but below the water. You will make us all beautiful. And then the echo again, the ripple, and the mirror version of Garnet is gone. Except right before it vanishes, it looks directly at you.
And blows a kiss.
Nilranim rises to his feet and starts walking back across the still lake.
What the fuck?
We have to warn them.
Yeah, I did say that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Why am I in the mirror of plain skies?
Maybe the Mirror Keeper thinks you're beautiful. It's a vain fucker.
I'd rather he not fucking think about me.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think you're on their mind for a while.
Too late for that, unfortunately.
Evidently, if they've grabbed this Nilranim guy, this is about creating some different leverage on Mason to try and get you to willingly join them.
Yeah, you're their favorite. I don't think... Have you with wings and shit. And it looked in my eye. It's not supposed to be able to do that.
Yeah, if it's supposed to be about, I don't know, leverage over me, but Mirror Keeper knows that we're watching that. I don't really understand.
But knows we're playing the game. It's a lot more information with Mirror Keeper's usually used to sharing, I imagine. Can you follow Nilradim, see where he goes?
I guess. I don't have
He's-
much
he's
time
probably-
left.
He's going to exit through a mirror, I imagine. Maybe you can see where he goes.
He has a head start on you because of the chaos and confusion of this moment. You have to
Rolling.
track him, and in this, the eyeballs are in this twisting maze of chaos, it can be difficult to do that. I regret to inform you that I need you to make a survival check.
What the fuck? Oh, it's just my eye. It's fine.
13.
I will guidance, I guess.
Guidance.
Be quirky. Oh my god! Why do I
Unlucky.
suck right now?
14. Roll 1d100.
Oh my god! Ooh, perfect.
Okay.
Oh,
You
so mid.
get lost in the tunnels and end up back at the alcove with the corpse. You have lost him with virtually no chance of catching him again.
Sorry.
Where was Nilrim a part of? Like, modest standing and capital of where?
The capital of Arx, the capital city of the Arx Dragon Tribe, a member of the Sacred Order of Sorcerers, who are all sort of the advisors. They almost form a priestly role. There are priests as well, but like the sorcerers are considered sacred in their own way. They have a lot of important ceremonial and religious roles, and they serve as spiritual guidance to the leaders of the tribe.
Well, presumably, Nilrim is going there.
Yeah. I'd say so. Garnet, good job. Go have a nap or a pastry or something. Mason, you figure out fastest way to go to Oryx. I don't think we can delay any longer.
Firstly, thank you, Garnet. Sorry to get you dragged more into this.
Who is this Nil? What?
Just a.
Do they know me? Do I know them?
Oryxian sorcerer. No, I know of them. They visited my village when I was younger. I just happen to remember them. They're not like a person of that great importance. I was surprised that they were there, but I guess it's because they got mayor cloned and.
Well, they tend to start small and work their way up. Nilrim will convert others, or bring them to a place where they can be converted.
Yeah.
Can you try scrying? Is that my mirror clone? Do I have a mirror clone?
Oh, I guess
Was
I
that
can
just
try
an illusion of reflection?
scrying that. I'll just try to scry Nilrim as well.
Hands him an object of mine. I don't know if that helps make it a better connection or some shit. But
it does.
Is it possible to scry the whatever form of garnet that is?
Do you even know what that was?
Nope.
try scrying it then.
Yeah, I mean, you could try. You saw it.
I guess. I scry myself.
Okay.
Weird.
All right. Give me a sec. I have to figure out what I'm going to do about this.
That we just throw random shit at gnomes all the time. Episode.
How would you like to do some magical dividing by zero?
Okay. Garnet, you spend 10 minutes focusing on scrying in the crystal ball. And after 10 minutes, the fog in the crystal ball clears, and you see yourself in this room.
Like this room. Like I'm waving and I'm watching myself while I scry.
Yes. Your reflection is not.
Reflection in the mirror is not waving.
So, Mason and Athalor, she's looking at the crystal ball and she's waving, and her reflection is also waving.
Okay.
Garnet, your reflection in the crystal ball is not waving. is just looking right up at the magical sensor in the top of the room.
What the fuck?
Guys, I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm not.
Are we in
I'm not
the-
waving back. I'm.
Are we in the fucking upside down? Like, what the fuck is happening?
And it's not a reflection, it's the mirror clone you saw. I don't know if you have a means of contacting it. I'd, like, knock on the mirror towards, like, the reflection of Garnet, which is currently reflecting.
Are you guys looking into the crystal ball?
Oh, yeah, we'd try to.
Like, looking between the mirror and the crystal ball, because I assume it's kind of
Okay.
like on this square in front of Garnet.
Athalor, in the crystal ball, Garnet's reflection is acting completely normally.
Oh.
Yours is not.
Ah.
Yours looks like the pre-new body version of you. And it's looking directly at the sensor. Mason.
I hide away from. Wait, can I? Is Athalor describing this before? Because I may want to like hide this from Mason.
Well, they both said they looked in at the exact same time.
Okay, never mind. I'll fuck.
Wait a minute. Uh-oh.
Mason, yeah, your reflection looks exactly like you, except the runes on your horn are glowing bright gold, and it's looking directly at you. And the other two's reflections are acting completely normal.
Oh, fuck.
What the fuck is going on?
Wait, how did you tried scrying on your mirrored self? Or whatever that was, right?
On the person that I saw, I don't know what that was. It could have just been
But then
an
why
illusion in the
do-
water. I didn't.
Why are all of our things different?
I see the old me.
Can I get a sanity check from the DM based on like mirror magic knowledge? Did we just get fucking cloned somehow?
No, you're still here.
But like,
You're
does a clone now exist in the plane? Like, how are we?
That should not be physically possible because you are not there. The moment you leave, you never physically entered. And even if you had, when you leave the mirror plane, your mirror clone stops existing. This makes no sense.
Okay, so okay, I'm not stupid. Okay, got it. Okay.
You're not missing anything obvious. This is just weird.
Can't I just see something weird with your reflection?
Yeah, mine's not waving. Wait, does my reflection look like that other one?
Yes. Actually, no. This reflection is surrounded in darkness.
Is it
Shadows
still like the
spread
Phoenix?
out from you in all directions. You wield in your hand a staff that absorbs all light. You wear the robes of the Archmage. And the Book of Seosh hangs at your side.
Oh, there's different versions of me. What the?
What, do they have all of your fates and endings over there or something?
I don't know, but I think they know that we're messing around with this, and we should stop.
Fine, we need to get to Oryx as soon as possible anyway. Untamula isn't here. Are there any of the faculty, Mason, who are related to the Oryx tribe, or at least a dragon tribe member who could maybe help us with a teleportation circle?
Gnomes, are there any Oryxian related faculty?
Yes. A better question might be, has the Dungeon Master prepared a temple map of Arcs? The answer to that is no.
We can theater of a mind it. We got it in us.
Unless the answer is yes.
I mean, actually, they've got the teleportation circle up in the high grounds as well.
Mm-hmm. But that's up in the that's up where
Mason's family lives.
Mason grew up. That's not the capital.
Do we have easy access to like versions of those like runes or whatever to like have on us that we can't get mirror fucked?
You could wear an amulet with it, or you could burn it into your very flesh.
I'll wear an amulet.
Amulets. I love amulets.
Yeah, we should, if we're going, if anyone else, all can do whatever, but if we go to Oryx, amulets for sure.
Amulets for what?
So you won't get mirrored at all. It's
Oh,
the
right, that one.
anti-mirror rune amulet, yeah. Because if Mirror Keeper is letting us see all these things and knows that we're going to warn Oryx, wants to lure us there perhaps for some reason, I just don't want to get mirrored. But I definitely think they should be warned very quickly, so.
Okay.
Yeah, we should
I'll
go.
handle the amulets. Garnet, you have a nap and get your power back.
I love having naps. I'm leaving.
Nap as
Oh,
hard as
this
you
shit.
can. Mason.
Schedule the travel.
Yeah.
So many
find,
naps.
find someone who knows how to get to the capital.
Because relations are good between Ioth Academy and the Oryx tribe, they have teleportation circles on file for each other. So you will definitely be able to travel there. Do you want to bring any kind of escort or guard?
Where's Jeffrey the...
Yeah, probably a couple people.
Where's Jeffrey the warden?
Was it Jeffrey? What was it? Was he Flanders? We had like a Ned Flanders looking warden.
We do have Ned. We can bring Ned.
I can pull Ned up. All right. Give me a second. I am improving here.
We assume that Chad is with the war party as the leader of the guy.
No, actually. Chad is in charge of security while Inril Untermuller is out.
Well, he probably couldn't come, unfortunately.
Wait, you're thinking about doing what now?
Going to Oryx.
Field trip?
Yeah. Gotta warn a dragon god about a potential calamity. Standard diplomacy.
Wait, you're gonna go talk to a god? Did you like send a letter or anything first?
No time.
Yeah, your mailbox is full.
Oh, I bet that happens. Got to be a busy guy.
I'd say. Gonna get a touch busier.
Hands him an NDA.
We're gonna need you to sign this.
I'm gonna need you to sign this.
All right, I have a map that is vibes. I have a map of vibes.
Cool. I like the illustrative map.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than the literal map, we take those.
Okay. With a small escort of wardens and war mages and Warden Flanders, you make your way to the causeway, where one of the conjurers who is on duty at all times has like a blank room where they inscribe teleportation circles as needed, and they keep scrolls and such on file. Should we send ahead that you're coming?
Why not? Yes, we are turning up with armed people anyway. Wait,
that's probably a good idea.
No.
Do we like surprises? Do they like surprises?
No, we don't send ahead. Mason, you do ascending. We don't know if whoever's receiving is compromised.
True. Who should I do sending to that? Would I know anyone in the capital?
You didn't really get to the capital much. Like, you weren't a huge, high-ranking member of society back home.
Nope.
You were a kid at one monastery village, and there wasn't a lot. I mean, you guys lived up in the mountains. Travel's very difficult.
Yeah.
Okay, how about that? You tell them.
I would know anyone.
You tell the official gatekeeper we're going to arrive. Mason, you roll the dice. See if you can send us sending to Oryx to maybe ask for our safe arrival because we've got something to warn him about.
Sure.
Mailbox is probably full, but why not? Oh, also 1d100.
No, you already procced that today.
Okay, cool.
Also, it doesn't actually work. I should have realized this earlier. It doesn't actually work with the dragon gods because they named their tribes after one. They're on a different order than Titans, and two, they named their tribes after themselves. So, like, their names get said so much that unless it's in a formal prayer, you can say their names freely.
Cool. Yeah, why not? I don't know the best way to do this, but I'd rather we not look like we're invading Oryx.
Okay. Do you want to cast a sending spell and target the dragon god Oryx?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I guess I'll do that as kind of like part of a prayer.
This is just praying with extra steps.
Yeah, kind of. Part of a prayer, essentially saying, I wish to warn the people of your capital of potential clones. I seek your safe passage and reverence. I wish to display to you.
Counting words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14,
It's like loosely
17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Exactly on
am
the
I
dot.
perfect? Oh, I'm correct.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect. Roll 1d100.
Okay.
Okay. There is no response.
All is important to us.
All right. Well, we'll see. We should just go, regardless.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
I'm gonna try and pick up a scroll of teleportation circle for the way back.
All right. That's fine. You can definitely have one of those. That's not a problem. You step into the circle once the conjurer is done inscribing it on the ground, the secret sigil. Could I have each of you roll an intelligence check, please?
That's a 8. Circle fun.
Garnet and Mason, you have now memorized a teleportation circle that goes to the capital of Oryx. You can add that to your character sheet somewhere. You've memorized the sigil pattern.
Meanwhile, Athalor, you like circles a lot.
I like circles.
Oh, very gold.
Right? Vibes. The capital of Oryx is beautiful, obviously. When you arrive, you are immediately hit with it's late spring, humid air, and it's very hot, muggy air, but it's mixed with a nice cold mist. You are in you're not in this room. Again, this is the Chamber of Vibes. You are standing in a lowered section of a structure that is open on all sides with huge pillars of like polished and enameled wood that rise up to the top and waterfalls blocking every single entrance. It looks like the whole thing is just in a waterfall constantly pouring down. There are gold dragonborn guards. They have these like almost catfish style whiskers that sort of fall downwards. Their scales gleam beautifully. Their armor is polished with gold. They're wielding spears and blades. You can see several people dressed exactly like Nilranim all around, just watching the teleportation circle. Like every other major civilization you've been to, this place is under constant guard. Once you are properly identified, however, an elderly gold dragonborn, starting to have some. The shine is going down. The scales are becoming more dull, but the color itself is not changing. The tribe welcomes travelers from the academy and one of our own. What brings you to our home?
Mantra bows like deeply respectfully, and so I'm Mantra of the Oryx tribe, and what brings us here is to warn of a potential threat that is within your home.
And what is this threat?
Kind of looks around. How many people are in this chamber?
A lot, like a dozen. 6 armored warriors, 6 sorcerers, and Zaldret, the priest.
Would I know if there's any, like, I don't know, ruling, like, council or whatever that some, like, important matters go to?
Yes, it would actually be the priests. I think uniquely among the dragon tribes, the Oryx tribe is actually a theocracy. So Zaldret is a decently high-ranking priest of Oryx. Not top of the top, but like they sent somebody pretty important to meet you.
Oh, and Zaldret is here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The one with whom you speak right now.
Right, okay, okay.
By the way, the moment you start talking, like, he addressed all of you in common, but when you're speaking to him, he's switching to Draconic.
Oh, okay. Would also talk in Draconic to him. I would ask, might we speak with you in private? These concerns might be unsafe to be spoken aloud in front of many.
Not just yet. First, you must be tested. And
kind of nods and waits.
Zaldret begins chanting a prayer in Draconic, but you also recognize gestures of magic. Instead of calling upon the arcane powers when a priest or a cleric casts spells, they do it very similarly to mages, except it's all channeled directly to them from the source of their power. So some of the gestures have the same things in common, but it's different enough that I would like you to make Arcana checks with disadvantage, all of you.
All right.
I'm sure I would describe as much as he knows what's going on to the party.
Oh, he's casting True Sight.
That's fair.
Oh, I don't know.
That's
He's
fair.
describing it, and I'm like, wait, what is he doing? What?
He's like, there's a golden light that flickers in his eyes, overwhelming his pupils and the irises and everything, just with the for a moment as he looks over each of you. And you said you're explaining the problem as you speak?
I was explaining to Garnet and Athalor, like, what
you were
he's
translating.
doing. Yeah, translating it.
Okay. Yeah, he casts True Sight. He looks over all of you. He scans around, looks at all the guards nearby, and then nods his head. We shall speak in sanctuary. He leads you a little bit like hunched over from age, and barefoot, so the sort of claws on the ground. It's stone beneath your feet, even though the pillars are made of wood. Leads you towards the edge, just this waterfall, and says something in Draconic, which you understand as "Gold grant me passage," and the water parts just over one of the archways, revealing a pathway that goes out over it, which is drenched with water. And upon looking around, you realize that you are incredibly high up in the air right now. You are like, it's probably 1,000-foot drop down into a jungle valley. This whole area is built into these enormous rock pillars, these very narrow mountains that rise out of the jungle surface itself. And atop many of them are beautiful domes and shrines and towers, and just this, it almost looks like a whole bunch of golden spikes or claws reaching out towards each other in this sanctuary. And at the very top is an open air, like the mountaintop is bare, but there are pillars rising up and steam rising up from the middle of it, and that seems to be like the center of this place. It's a pretty big settlement, all things considered. Like, probably not as big as Brontha, Definitely not as big as Brontha, but very, very large, beautifully ornate. And Zaldret will lead you, not speaking, not like chatting, just sort of walking, you and your escort through the city, passing several times along balconies and galleries that go around the edges of these stones, sometimes tunnels that have been dug into them or naturally occurring caves. There's limestone caverns and volcanic activity and geysers. Sort of the insides of these stone pillars almost breathe like they're living stone as you make your way through, and the Auryxian people have made their lives here. So it's a bustling city. There's kobolds, there's humans, there's dwarves running around, lots of dragonborn. Probably more dragonborn than most of you have ever seen before in one place. Primarily gold, but you recognize some silver there as well. The occasional red dragonborn, a couple of green dragonborn wearing all sorts of colorful clothes. And it's going to take you some time to get all the way up to the top. Is there anything? Go ahead.
Yeah, along the walk, try to make eye contact with Garnet and make a little, like, I don't know, symbol or indication of the gem.
Pops a charge of the gem.
Remember, that only lasts for 10 minutes, and this is more than a 10-minute walk.
Oh. When should I pop it?
Yeah, I don't know. Good cue.
I guess
Well,
whenever they introduced us
assumably-
to whoever else we talked to as well.
Well, we got multiple charges too. I guess
Assuming
we
we're
have
going
three.
to somewhere in private, so if we're down to use 2 charges, one in the beginning, one when we get there. But
Okay.
If you think 20 minutes will be enough,
If you're tactical about it.
let's walk very fast.
Okay.
But I guess one of the primary concerns is Zaldred, a mere clone.
He passes inspection when you burn one of the charges.
Good.
Whew, good.
When you make your way all the way up, passing layers and layers of guards and huge doors that are big enough for a dragon to pass through, and beautifully carved of wood with gold enameled into it, the chamber that you finally enter actually looks like this map. The walkway in, the mountain all around it, the sort of altar at the end. There are armed guards, paladins, and there are sorcerers who are wearing very similar clothes to Nilranim present, and multiple other priests dressed like Zaldret. Many of them are dragonborn, but not all of them.
There's
Public speaking time, Mantra. Good luck.
Yeah, I guess when we get into this chamber and realizes, oh, we're gonna be in front of a bunch of people. Wait, is there what's his name here? No, Nilranim?
You don't see Nilranim here.
I guess would.
You don't have to speak to the whole group if you want. They can find you a private chamber. This is just like,
oh, okay, yeah,
you're going into this room first. If you see there's some passages on the side and such.
Yeah, I guess would be like waiting, because assumedly it was gonna be led to private chamber, but would like address them formally and just say like, oh, thank you for inviting me to your home. I've not personally been to the capital myself. It's an honor to be here. Kind of introduce everybody and kind of look expectantly at Zaldret.
Mm-hmm. Zaldret lets all of you speak. And there is a woman who appears human, but definitely has some dragon blood. There's some like trace golden scales, bright golden eyes, very tall, very confident looking, indeterminate age. She stands there before all of you, and Oryx welcomes our guests from Ioth Academy. Your deeds are known to us. And then like when you sort of say that, Zaldret's gonna like shuffle over and be like, all right, let's get out of here. Let's go. Come on, let's move over here.
Kind of nudges Garnet too for if she's down for another charge of the thing. See if any of these people are
Looks around, pops the charge and looks around.
Looking around, normal. There is a dragon in the middle of the room.
That I wouldn't have seen without this charge?
Correct.
Like invisible?
No. The woman who's talking to you is not human. She's a gold dragon.
Oh, holy shit.
So it just has a panicked look as the party's just watching me scan and go, oh, it's right, it's not a clone, that's a fucking dragon. That's a fucking dragon.
Oh.
Just smiles, just waves at the
I'm gonna roll an Arcana
dragon.
check for her real quick. She grins at you when you look at her, like with all of her teeth. And all of you see that grin, and when you look through the lens, you kind of see like a superimposed like hologram of her, and then this hologram of the dragon around it, right? And so she grins at you, and the dragon's just like, hey.
So who's the dragon? Her?
Just kind of like hugs Mason's arm, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. They're not gonna kill us, right?
No, they're not going to kill as long as they're not mirror clone, which they're not, right? They're safe.
Oh, just shiny and gold, not shiny and mirror.
But Jason kind of bows, like, I don't know, more deeply when passing here. For a sign of respect kind of thing. And
Velvet shuffles you off this way through, again, the walls of this chamber are all made of natural limestone stalagmite formations. And so you pass through a winding, not carved out, it's just very like natural shapes into a side room that's just a cave. But there is a small altar there. There's a little symbol like of a gold dragon standing there. There's some incense burning. And when you walk in, suddenly everything outside gets very quiet. This is not a private sanctum, but it's got to be some kind of divine magic that works similarly. Zaldret has a seat on some cushions and invites the rest of you to sit as well.
yeah, take a seat.
Copper squat.
Begins by saying, thank you for meeting with us in private. It is a matter potentially of benefit very few ears hearing at first, and your ears are probably the best that they go through first. Garnet here might be able to give more details as she's the one who actually saw it, but Nilranim, if you're aware of this person.
Nilranim. Yes. Fast ascending in the Holy Order. Bright. Motivated. Sharp.
Yes. They died a long time ago and were replaced by a Mirror Keeper clone. We just found this out today.
That is not possible.
How?
Nilranim was present at the last meeting of the sacred tribes. And
everyone
passed
was
the sacred eye. He shone as himself, not as false.
Well, we saw him or someone who looked very exactly like him in the plane of mirrors, taking orders from what presumably might have been the Mirror Keeper? Or
you
a
went
hired
there?
person.
He's speaking in common now.
No.
He's speaking to all of you. And so he like, and a Dragonborn's face, they have this like big snout and much less flexible facial features. So to people who aren't familiar with them, they often read as very unemotional. But even those of you who didn't grow up around Dragonborn, Mason, or Athalor and Garnet, you recognize like a what the fuck expression when you see it. What were you doing there?
Didn't go there, just experimenting with ways to interact with it without being there, which seemingly was successful.
Perilous for body and soul.
I'm sorry. When was the? Presuming this was in common. I'm not sure if it was.
It is. Yeah, he's speaking completely in common.
When was the last time you checked Nilrinim, as it were? The Great Eye?
On the day of... Wait, that's the wrong one. Hang on. On the day of the Dragon's Feast. Last summer.
It's no what, spring.
Maybe it's possible that it was replaced within that time. I mean, there was a whole skeleton, though. I don't know.
I do not doubt what you have seen. But it makes little sense. That said, we have heard of your struggles against the great enemy, and have no reason to doubt. Even now, Nilrinim approaches this place. He has been called forth. The spiritual crisis of our brethren to the north must be healed. And we have called all of the wise to decide how. He is counted amongst them.
Amongst the Oryxians or another dragon tribe?
Tribe of the fallen god.
Born.
Right.
Meaningful look to Garnet.
And, I mean, I assume the answer is no, but you're not aware of Nilrinim venturing into the Plane of Mirrors recently at all?
It is forbidden.
I would hope so.
Only amongst us, the Charir tribe is permitted to conduct such experiments, and only under the watchful eye of our people.
So, there are two options here. Either Nilrinim was replaced after the last great meeting, when the Arcane Eye did not see them, or the Mirror Keeper now has a way to avoid detection of mirror clones through True Sight.
Or what we saw was not Nilrinim. Could have been an illusion.
There is a simple way to test this. If he comes here, he shall fall under the sacred eye. And then we should know the truth.
Hopefully.
Could I offer an additional level of screening, perhaps?
The Council of the Academy is always welcome, Athalor. On Darud.
Athalor unclips the amulet from around his neck.
Mm-hmm.
We've recently come into possession of a rune that's anathema to those under the influence of the mirror plane. If you present this amulet to Nilrinim as a gift, he should recoil should they be off the mirror plane. If not, they should go unrecognized.
Zaldruk reaches out his claws, his talons, nimble talons, opposable thumbs and the works, just sharp, and takes the rune in hand and peers at it. Obviously unfamiliar. You are certain of its efficacy?
Looks over to Mason.
Yeah, it should. The question was, does it like do what it's supposed to do?
Does this shit work?
Yeah, I mean it should. Yeah.
Good. You are
We have
uncertain.
every reason to believe that it works.
All 9 gods and their people know of the death of Orn. Not all of Okarthil has heard of how and why. I would ask you of Ioth Academy. Was Orn's death just?
It looks mostly like garnet.
Define just.
Justice is no simple thing. It is everything. Loath are we to strike in anger or to harm another. But when that is called upon to protect the vulnerable or to punish the cruel, then more wrong it is to stay the hand than to let it loose. Was it just to kill the god?
Well, although he mentored me for a while, he slaughtered my people and had to pay the price, so I would say that's pretty fair. One life for many.
Orn betrayed his people's trust as well to hold counsel with infernals. He chose his side. It was not with the free, and with those of the light.
Could I have you both roll persuasion checks, please? A 23 and an 18. Zaldret pauses and sort of steeples his golden claws together. And you can see he's sort of grinding them together, and there's like little claw marks in between his knuckles. This is obviously an old habit of his. Then I thank you.
Oh. Whew. You're welcome.
Glad we don't have another Sapphire Ziku situation.
Justice is the duty of all life. No matter against whom it is wielded. It supersedes even faith.
Insight check on mantra.
Oh, what the?
Oh, wow. Spill the beans, growing.
How does Bro feel about the creed of his people?
About what? I was like half spaced out. What about what's specific?
He said, justice is the duty of all life, no matter against whom it is wielded. It is. It surpasses. It's more important than faith.
Oh, yeah, probably like definitely like deeply like resonates with this. I think it's definitely you would see a little bit of like perhaps guilt or remorse in his expression for maybe like not quite upholding that as much as he like wanted to or intend to, and is still kind of partially hung up over being part of the cause that Orn is like dead, be it even just or not. Like that's a fucking dragon god. Yeah, it's kind of where he's at right now.
Cool.
I shall see this sign placed upon Nilrenim's very neck. And if it is not Nilrenim, but his murderer, then justice shall be meted out upon him.
Thank you.
I sincerely hope it was just a delusion or something, and that Nilrenim is actually good. Not a clone, not on their side or anything.
If yet he lives, but takes counsel and orders from infernals, then the duty of justice remains the same.
Yeah, true. I suppose that is an option. Someone
Beyond
could
our
just
jurisdiction.
willingly work with them.
Beyond our jurisdiction to interrogate your people.
We shall see it done. Do you find in your hearts that you must stay here to see it through?
I don't believe it of the utmost necessity unless, and looks at Rathor and Garnet, unless you either of you think it is.
I'm good. I'm good.
Garnet's done.
I don't like big dragons, especially when I killed their big daddy.
I would, however, like to pray at, before I go, like to pray at one of your shrines to Oryx.
Of course. The just one dwells whenever righteousness prevails and cruelty is punished, not simply in the shrine, but place does matter. You are welcome here, Mantra.
Thank you.
Well, Mantra prays, do you have any record of Nilrenim's previous tasks and outings?
Yes. Not offhand. I can find those.
Would you be able to check if he's visited Mantra's home village?
Yes.
In the last couple of months.
It's going to take him some time to do that, if you want to just stick around while he undergoes that. While Mantra's
So
praying.
we're gone. It's out of sight of the dragons.
You are out of sight. Like, you're around several corners from the dragon.
Okay, cool.
But you're going to have to walk past her on the way out.
Oh.
It'll be fine.
Scary. She's scary.
So do you just want to like chill here while Mantra prays? Because there is a little shrine. Like, you can pray here or you can pray at one of the bigger temples. Your call, Mantra.
Probably one like the bigger temples, I think. One that would be like the most likely to be like seen or heard. Like the most like special one, I guess, if that's doable.
To the holiest of places.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's basically at the top here. Like, if you scroll to the top of the map.
Sure. If that's like the equivalent of like the top peak of this village kind of thing. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's the closest equivalent. And again, there's all these people in here. So you're going to be here with all these people, but they'll absolutely respect your privacy up there, but they're all going to be behind you.
Yeah, that's okay. As long as like a mumble words, they don't like overhear or anything, presumably. Yeah, that is okay.
I'm going to stay back and protect Garnet.
All right. So you and Garnet are going to lurk on the side?
Yeah.
Okay. As a party, when everybody clicks the ready button, Zaldret will return. Until then, the floor is yours. Mantra, if you want to detail any of the prayer scene, you can. Otherwise, you can just say that you pray. Your call.
Yeah, I will. I go up to the altar, kind of nod to people who are like standing guard by it, and go up very slowly, kneel down, look down as well and take a few deep breaths to kind of ready himself, and says, Oryx, I come to you firstly to pay respect and reverence to you, as always, but also for a deeper matter, a deeper concern. I have recently come to believe, know, that me and my family are part of a long line of a binding spell made by the Mirror Keeper that intends to bind you, we presume. I'm doing what I can to figure out a way to diffuse this situation, and maybe you're already aware, but I find it pertinent to still tell you, and if possible, seek your wisdom and guidance as to a solution of it. It takes a few more moments to just breathe deeply again, kind of meditatively, and raises his head, gets up.
Roll a wisdom check for me, please.
Sure. Wisdom check. Natural 20.
We all
You
prayed
become
up.
a god.
Let's go.
Here we are again.
So fucking wise.
Wisest guy. Dragon,
Okay.
dragon on the wall.
As you are standing up, there is a searing heat, a raging, burning fire on your horns and in your heart.
I kneel back down when I hear this feeling.
It doesn't hurt, but it is intense. And in your mind's eye, you see your own life, your own memories in reverse. It is simultaneously incredibly fast, just a rush, an overwhelming surge of instances and emotions and sights and sounds and sensations. But it doesn't overwhelm you. And you see all of it clearly. And in every single moment, did you protect the weak? Did you punish the cruel? Did you treat others with compassion? Did you treat yourself justly and with compassion? And in some of those moments, you did. And in some of those moments, you didn't. There are times where unnecessary cruelty transpired and you didn't stop it. But there's other times where you put your life on the line, put yourself in incredibly dangerous positions to protect those who can't protect themselves and to fight alongside those who shield the vulnerable from harm. All the moments that you've ever kind of questioned or felt uneasy about or kind of tried not to think about, they're brought up as if you are living in that exact moment. Moment after moment after moment after moment. But this is not the power of despair's herald. This is not a crushing weight on you that centers you as the cause of everything, that makes you shrink inwards in shame and hate. This is a light, and it burns and it shines into places that you don't want to look. But it does no harm. And even though it is justice itself, it does not judge. It only illuminates to you yourself what you already knew. And as this passes back and back and back and back to your very earliest memories, it changes. And that great chain that you've seen before you, descending from a perfect mirror, like the mirror lake that Garnet described to you moments ago, descending from it and rising up into its reflection, all of your people, from you and your mothers and your cousins, all the way up, a tree that shrinks and shrinks and shrinks and shrinks until it ends in someone beautiful, staggeringly beautiful. A winged figure sculpted from gold itself, just this, not a thing of evil, but a person of radiating beauty. And that same question, you can see it asked of you and each of your ancestors, all the way up to Consker, the child of Imago. That same judgment, that same question. Have you wronged others? And that question is not answered. It remains ambivalent. The light is shined upon each of their actions and their moments, even if you have never seen them yourself. Even up to Consker himself, the light merely illuminates. But then it passes above, up to that sea of glass, that infinite reflection. And there, it burns. For the first time, through every moment that you doubted yourself, every moment that you don't think you did the right thing, that you let harm that you could have stopped transpire, you never once felt judged, just asked. But at the very top, in that infinite mirror, judgment falls. And that weight doesn't fall upon you, but it is terrible. And then you're back in the room.
Oh. I guess as much as standing up and then feels all of this and kind of kneels back down, it's many, many moments of
feeling trouble getting up.
When he does get up, yeah, probably. But we'll just keep kneeling there for probably a good solid couple of minutes, really trying to linger within this feeling of like, yeah, there is these moments that I have maybe not tried to, enact justice, but kind of just like ignored it or whatever, but is really trying to like, again, not in the judgmental kind of way, but just like, yeah, this is something to think about and not continue to kind of push to the side, and really just kind of promises to himself that moment to like not forget that, because of kind of feeling that weight at the end, even though it doesn't fall upon him specifically, kind of understanding where it's all coming from. And then would, yeah, very slowly, a little bit shakily, because he's still probably thinking about this concept, like stands up and turns around, walks back down the altar.
It's been several minutes, during which Garnet and Athlor have just been in this little side room.
Do you think we have a obligation to help out Orn with what we did?
No.
No. We did kind of kill their god. As much of an asshole as he was.
Yeah. Maybe they shouldn't have a god as an asshole.
Too right, darling.
I just want to get out of here. I need a nap.
You okay? Yeah. We'll get out of
Just
here
been
soon.
napping a lot. Just a lot of naps, a lot of getting up, going to weird mirror places, taking a nap, going back to the weird mirror place, taking a nap, now going to a dragon place. Okay.
You want to just stay in tomorrow? Have some Garnet time. Maybe you could see Cyrus. It'll be fun.
Just, want a normal day of school stuff. Without war, without gods, without dragons, without mirrors, without mirror clones.
I'm sure that could be arranged. Besides, Untomola's going to be gone for a little bit, so classes as normal. Okay, you've got to put a self-imposed timeout on researching all of this void sphere shit, and then you can get back to it when you're ready to once again do some wacky shit,
On the subject of wacky shit, do you really think we could this resurrection stuff you're trying is gonna work?
I mean, I've seen wonders and miracles. It's about time one worked in our favor.
And why Master L now and not your mom?
If I figure it out, maybe it can be both. But truth is, Garnet, the school wouldn't put up the resources or the dawn magic to do it for my mom. It's a calculus of resources. They would do it for an archmage. They wouldn't do it for mom.
I just think the more I worried about my past and trying to correct that, the less of a future I had. So, if I'm honest, I think this is a waste of time because I don't think either of them are coming back. But I just wanted to be honest with you about that.
If it works out, I won't tell you said that.
Okay, fair enough.
And if it doesn't, Garnet's right again.
Well, if I wasn't so wrong about how I handled it, this wouldn't be a situation. So all we can do is keep messing up until we learn, right?
I think I'm due a couple of those. It's been a hot streak lately for me.
Well, we're not picking fights with dragons, so I think we've shown a lot of growth.
Be nice to have one on side. Can't just look too scared of it when you go out, yeah. Diplomatic.
More of a bird girl.
See, it seems like the Mirror Keeper agrees. Ethel winks at her and then goes out to the main room to check in on Mantra.
Shortly thereafter, Mantra, do you walk back into that small room? How long do you linger there?
Probably linger like within that chamber for a while, like not on the altar anymore, but definitely lingering kind of until either a while passes or until they come back in. Yeah.
When you do, Zaldret is approaching with a number of scrolls under his arm. I have searched Nilrenim's records. It was not long ago, days ago. He requested a leave of absence departed from the temple and from his duties with our blessing. Where he went, he did not say. But the seers believe he traveled to the great city of Operatum. There he sought an artificer. He goes through another scroll, looks at it. Mantra. He seeks your father.
Oh, you got a dad? I mean, yeah, you need one.
Dadless.
Well, I mean, yes, yes.
I take it you're not close.
No, not at all. Never knew him.
And does your father have gestures meaningfully to his horns?
I think your mom's told you about this.
Yeah, kind of recently-ish.
When you went to visit, they told you about him. It was always very much like a friendly, casual, hey, we want a kid thing. And he was a brilliant, if a little bit scatterbrained and hectic artificer, but he was a tiefling. And sufficiently distantly related for it not to be weird, but probably somewhere on that bloodline. And on that ominous thought, that will mark the end of tonight's episode of Book of Dawn Ioth Academy. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And we will see you next time when very normal, non-God related, non-Miraclone related things will happen.